What's up? What's up? What's up, YouTube? It's your girl DeeDee. Welcome back to another live stream. Happy Tuesday. I hope y'all are doing great. Thank y'all so much for being here. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Can y'all hear me perfectly fine? Put a 1 in the chat just to let me know that you guys can hear me perfectly fine. I want to make sure that the audio is good. So what's going on? Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody is doing well. Thank y'all so much for being here. As you come into the building, make sure you are hitting the like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Hit the like button. That definitely helps a sister out. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys are hitting the like button. Hit the like button. I hope y'all are enjoying your day. So we gonna hop right into this. What's going on? I see everybody in the building. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody watching, everybody in the chat. You know, everybody, just everybody. Shout out to you guys. I hope y'all are doing well, for real, for real. So shout out to LG, Roddy, Puerto Rican Princess. What's going on? Tactics TV, Successful MD, what's going on? Derek, how are you? Hustle the Great, Lorenzo Redman, UFO Kamikaze 1, Ryan Wedlow, Ken Boggs, what is it? Clark, I don't know how to Ustinov. I don't know how to pronounce your name, but shout out to you. Clyde Smith, what's going on? I hope y'all are doing well. So we're gonna jump right into this. I'm not gonna keep y'all too long today. Definitely chime in the chat. Also, if you are new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. And also hit that notification bell so that you'll be notified when I go live or post new content. And also, if you want to become a channel member, go ahead and click that link to become a channel member as well. That definitely helps and supports the channel as well. So we're going to jump right into this video titled 60-year-old women getting BBLs to compete. Plus, this is why Black men are dating non-Black women, plus more. So I want to kind of talk about this, and I have a clip for you guys. I have several clips, of course, that I want to share with you guys about this. How older women don't necessarily seem to be the role models for the younger anymore. You know, like when we were growing up, well, I know when I was growing up, there were older women that I kind of looked up to, women who I admired and respected and kind of wanted to emulate because I liked the way they moved. I liked the way they presented themselves. You know, they had a certain class about themselves. They respected themselves. And they just, you know, certain things about them that I wanted to kind of emulate because I just respected them. When we look at today's society, in my opinion, just my opinion, you guys let me know your opinion. In my opinion, I think the older women are not setting good examples. Some older women, I'll say, are not setting good examples for the young because they're competing with the young. They're still, this is where the BBLs come in at. They're still trying to get their butts done and get their bodies done so that they can compete with the younger women for the same men. And I think this is partially a result of those older women who, you know, didn't prioritize their youth, as we always talk about. They didn't prioritize their youth. They didn't think, you know, relationships were important. They didn't think marriage was important. So now they've aged out. Now they're the older women in the club, older women on the scene. And instead of them giving the necessary advice to the younger women so that they don't make the same mistakes, they're trying to compete. And I think that's an issue. And I think this is where this is why, and I often wonder why, you know, as you know, as we get older, why aren't these women telling these young women that this is not where it's at, this is not what you should be doing, or giving them some type of advice so that they can have a better outcome? But instead, they don't want them to have a better outcome because they're still fighting for a man themselves at 40, 50, and 60 years old. So why would you give the young girls the advice? Because you know now it's a real stiff competition because you're older. So you don't have as much leverage the older you get. And I don't care how many times women say, well, I'm older, I know my worth, I know I'm this, I know that as I get older, I know my worth. No, you feel that you're worth more when you're older. But it doesn't mean that's how society and the world sees you. And so, but they do understand that they're limited because this is why they're trying to compete with the younger women, because men are saying, hey, we want younger women who don't have a bunch of kids. We're going to try to find a decent woman who's, you know, doesn't have a ready-made family already, somebody who's cooperative and want to work and build with us. So that kind of knocks the older women out with these kids already, these old single mothers. And this is also why a lot of older single mothers are mad when they hear men say, we don't want single mothers, because it takes a large chunk of women out of the game, because men are saying, no, we want to make our own families. We don't have to deal with your baby daddies and all and you and all of the drama that comes with you. We want to create our own families with our own kids. So it won't be any issues as far as, oh, that child looking at you saying one day, you're not my daddy and this and that and yada, 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 right? So that is part of the reason why a lot of women are upset, for one. And on the other hand, the women who are older, who just couldn't seem to make it work, couldn't seem to get a man, or get a husband in all of their years living. So they're still out here trying to compete with the young girls by getting BBLs, doing whatever they need to do to fit in with those younger women to possibly get the man or the type of man that they say they want. So I think it's unfortunate, but it's the reality in which we live in. It's what's happening, and we see it. Thanks for the super sticker, Clyde. I appreciate you for that. Thank you so much, sir. So I'm gonna get into this clip. I want you guys to hear what this lady has to say, and I definitely want you to chime in the chat. I want to hear your thoughts on this one. So let's go.
Switched, and like when I was growing up, I used to want to be like Felicia Rashad because I looked up to women that were older. But at this point, older women want to be younger.
Yep.
Right. So you have 40-year-old women and 46-year-old women trying to look like and act like the 23-year-old. Then how do you know? Because when you're young, you don't think there's consequences, right?
Yeah.
The only way you know there's consequences is someone, like you said, the OG pulls you to the side and is like, look. But really, the culture is chasing youth, so it's like backwards. The older women want to be young. That's the only thing. Like, there are women, and I'm not. This is no disrespect, but no women in their 60s getting BBLs. Like,
that's crazy.
What is happening? What are we doing? So, how can a woman who's 23 trust your leadership if you're trying to look like her? Felicia Rashad wasn't trying to look like. I was trying to be like her. But if she was on the stage with, her butt out and trying to look like me, then I wouldn't have respected her. So I feel like of course people don't believe there's consequences because the older people are lying. Lying. They're lying. They're chasing the same thing. So you have rappers in their 40s and 50s getting into beef with Kodak Black. Like that makes no sense. There should be, like, in order to lead, you have to lead by example. Yeah. And to me, everybody is chasing the youth, the younger culture, which makes them disrespect. Why would I look at you? You want to be like me.
What do you guys think about what she had to say? I think she made a valid point. Because that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a lot of the older women, which, you would think that as you get older, a lot of women always talk about, oh, I'm older, I'm wiser, I know I have more of a self-worth about myself. I know what I want now. But they always say that, but it doesn't show. You would think that they would teach something different to the youth coming behind them, that they would set the example, example for the next generation to follow. And it's just not, you don't see it. In fact, so much so, the older women are combative to other women. I'll just give myself as an example. So I would consider myself the older generation, and the things that I speak on, which I would like to think is an effort to try to help the younger generation, because the older ones, my age and older, they're not getting it. They're still lost in the sauce. They're still out here trying to compete with the young women and try to convince men why men should pick them, instead of saying, you know what? Let me tell these young girls my mistakes, the things I did wrong, so they won't try to perpetuate that. So they will try to do something better, so that they will prioritize family and a husband and all of these things when they're young. So when they get older, they won't still be out here in the streets trying to fight for a man and compete with these younger women getting BBLs or whatever they're doing, trying to get a man. You know what I'm saying? So instead of them telling, there aren't any real mentors anymore. And I would say not a lot of them. There might be a few here and there, but they're not a whole lot of women, older women, that these younger women can look up to and aspire to do something better, and based off of their of the examples that they set, because the older women are out here bending over and twerking in the air, child. They out here singing Sexy Red in their 40s, who knows, 50s. They out here, with the BBL, shaking it, trying to show they can still drop it like it's warm too. Because they can't drop it like it's hot. They can drop it like it's warm, and pick it up slow. But they out here still trying to drop it and show that they still got it. They still got it because they single. Either they have kids or they have grown kids, and they looking to settle down with somebody. But it's difficult for them to find a man because it's a lot going on. Unrealistic, y'all already know, unrealistic expectations. You think you're everything in 10 bags of chips. You think you're the bomb.com, you're the prize. You're up here at 40 years old with 5 kids, single. So there's no getting through to the majority of those women. And they know better, a lot of them, but they refuse to humble themselves and just teach the younger girls that, look at me, use me, look at me. I'm 45. I'm saying they should be telling the younger women, look, if you really want a man and you want a family, you should do X, Y, and Z. But they won't tell them because they don't want to do it. They still out here. They don't want those girls to get advantage over them. So they won't tell them. They're going to just still sit up and say, girl, hell with a man, girl. You can do bad by yourself. You don't need no man. What's a husband anyway? Marriage ain't shit. Basically, you don't, they try to diminish it. But it's the same things that they're looking for. So why would these young women trust these older women? And there are some young women who say this, who say, nah, they can't trust her. She don't have what she don't have what she been looking for. So why would I follow her path? But then the majority, though, are influenced by that at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's like the blind leading the blind. You don't have no experience or anything to show for what it is you're saying. You're not, telling these girls that it's okay to have babies out of wedlock because you're going to raise your baby. The child don't need a father, stuff like that. And to be honest with y'all, I've been hearing that all my life too. Oh, you don't need a daddy for your child. You can raise that child by yourself. You don't need no. And this has been perpetuated over and over and over and over. So look where we are now. It's a hot mess. So they've been telling young people since I was young and probably before that you don't need no daddy. You can raise your child by yourself. Girl, go get your welfare. Go get your stamps. Go get that and get you a project. And go take care of your baby. You don't need no man. And I'm just sitting there looking like, who want that? That's what I was thinking as a young girl. 11, 12, I heard this. And I'm thinking like, why would anybody want to live not come from it. So why would I want to grow up and live in the projects? Why would I want to grow up and just get a baby? And just automatically go get government and food stamps? That's not a lot. That's not a lot of money. Why? So I'm looking, I was always a curious kid. So but I didn't talk a lot, but I was listening. So I'm just listening because I couldn't say much because, if you say something as a child back then, they'll pop you in the mouth. Stay in a child's place. That's what I was told. So I learned, don't say nothing, but I still have ears. So I'm listening to this foolishness and I know this sounds whack, but I'm hearing it and I'm just like frowning like, that don't sound right. Why would anybody want to live here where they shooting and doing drugs all day? Like, who want to live here? I was a scared child growing up. So I'm like, why would I grow up and choose this? But this is the stuff that they was telling young people then. Oh, well, you could just do this. And so it's not a new thing. It's not a new thing to hear that. And this is why I'm saying, fast forward all these years later, it's still what's being perpetuated. It's still what they're kind of, they done added a few things to it and twisted it up a little bit, but the same message, the same rhetoric. And it's not helping. It's not helping. Now, the only thing to me that's different, well, one of the things that's different is the fact that these women are just more entitled. They're more entitled because now society has made them think that they're worth so much. They know they're worth so much. Even though they haven't worked on themselves, they haven't really put in the time to really work on themselves and figure out why they are the way they are, why they're combative, why they're this, they haven't dealt with childhood issues and things. And they just think that they're everything without putting in the work to really better themselves. And so in their minds, they've made changes in their head. They're better and they're so worth so much, so in their head, that's what they feel, that's what they think. But is it really an actual factual thing? I don't think so. And so with this thought process, the way you feel, the way you think is part of the reason why they expect so much from a man without even being willing to give anything to that man, because they've also been taught that men don't really deserve much, that a man is supposed to only give to you, that you're the prize, that you're worth everything in 10 bags of chips, and he's worth nothing, and he's lucky to be with you. So why would you do anything for a man? Because a man is designed to do for you, which is going to take me to another clip I'm going to play you guys in a second, but it's the mentality of men are supposed to do this. Men are supposed to cater to. Men are supposed to do all of these things for these women, and women aren't supposed to do anything for you in return. And I think we've come to a place where a lot of men realize this, because I think growing up, men didn't realize that. A majority of them didn't seem to, but now they do. They understand, hey, listen, I don't mind taking care of, doing things for a woman that I'm interested in. I think most men don't mind it, but at the same time, they don't want to be taken advantage of, which nobody wants to be taken advantage of. That's not a good feeling. So I think men understand, listen, hey, I need to have somebody that I can trust. Trust is a big issue. Loyalty is a big issue. Just being faithful and loving towards somebody, that's an issue when it comes to relationships, and especially with women. Because women have exposed themselves so much, and y'all know I talk about this all the time, to the point now men are skeptical about even getting in relationships or even talking to these women, because they don't want to be taken advantage of. And I can't blame y'all, because when all you hear is, girl, I got to get to the bag, I need the money, I need 6 figures, I need this, you don't hear anything of any importance that they are looking for from a man other than how much he can provide for them and how much he can take care of them and their kids. That's it. So we're at a place now where, and just to kind of go back to where I started, where the older generation of women are not teaching these young women, or not telling these young women what they really need to hear. And so when you hear channels like mine and others who are talking about relationships and how lost a lot of women are and how women aren't accountable for their actions, but they expect so much from men, you see, it's a lot of older women that have the pushback. It's a lot of the women my age and older who have a problem. I believe it's the older women who are calling women like me pick-me's and mammies and stuff, because they don't want to hear that, because they still single and they never was able to get the things that they're saying they want now. And they still can't get it. A lot of them have never been married, so they try to diminish marriage. A lot of them have never been in committed relationships. They never had a man who really took them seriously. And so this is why they're bitter and angry now, because they realize they're having a hard time getting it. And when men say things like, I want a younger woman, I don't want an older woman, who's used that cooch 1,000 times and got children, out of it, never been married and just been all over the place, several baby daddies, and just been around town with that thing. They get mad. They're offended because they're like, what? Why you don't want this coochie? Well, they don't want it, baby. You can't get mad because you didn't prioritize your youth and you didn't think that it was important to get married or have a stable relationship. You threw that thing all over, and now men are saying they don't want no. If they can get a better version, why not? Shouldn't be a problem for them to say that, because of your look. You should be mad at yourself. You made those choices. Whether you knew better or not, you still made those choices instead of being accountable and saying, you know what? Yeah, I ran around. They used to say back in the day, used to say, you hear grandmothers and stuff say, oh, I was something in the streets. They'll tell you, oh, I was a hot mama. I can't remember the exact words they used to say, but they used to say, oh yeah, I was a hot piece or something like that back in the day, where they would be like, yeah, I was hot round. Yeah, I mean, they was throwing that thing all over the place when they're younger. They was throwing it all over at 14 and 15 years old, our grandmothers, I'm saying. And people hate to say that, but it's the truth, because they tell us, but everybody just laugh. Oh, grandma, what? What grandma saying, telling you she was a 304 child. Let's be honest. Grandma was telling us, we laugh at it because we can't really give our real opinion because she a badass in our mouth too. But the grandmas was telling you, baby, she was throwing that coochie all over the place, child. She was telling you she was running the streets in the juke joints with Tom, Dick, and Harry, baby. And had that baby at 14, had another one at 15, had another one at 16, had another one at 18, had by the time she was 30, she had 10 children. Y'all know our grandmothers had 9 and 10 children, but they started young. But all of them went for grandpa. Matter of fact, sometimes, they always, and they keep secrets. So they don't really tell you everything. You know what I'm saying? They'll tell you, oh yeah, the oldest, my oldest son, they come out later when they old. Oh yeah, that was for another man. And then this one was for another man. Okay. Then you start saying, dang, grandma told y'all she was out there like a hot mama. She was what they call it, something on wheels. She was a what? Was it a bitch? Now they didn't say bitch on wheels, but they would say like something hot, letting us know. But I remember hearing that, but I was just like, oh, you just kind of look, and laugh it off a little. But nah, she was telling you she was a 304. She was getting it in young. So I mean, what's my point? I forgot my point. But they told us, but then they get older and they act, they forget about that. You know what I'm saying? And all the kids, some of them are questionable and stuff. But I mean, I don't know. It's just, I forgot what I was about to say, but Divine Photos, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, I honestly think that's the reason why older women intentionally give young women bad advice. So the young women don't one up them. Oh, yes, exactly. Thank you for the super chat, Divine Photos. I appreciate you. Exactly. Straight up. I mean, even some of our mothers, if we're going to be honest, and I think even some of the mothers are in competition with their daughters. You're in competition with your daughter. Your daughter is a more probably cuter, more fitter version of you, younger. The men, you go wherever you go, if y'all together, the men are more or less looking at the daughter and not you because you're older. It doesn't mean that as you get older, you are not attractive or you don't have, that you're not worth anything. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is if you're 40, 30, 40, 50, I would say 40s and up out here on the dating scene, and you have never been able to get a man and lock that relationship down, then now you're at a disadvantage because most of the men aren't looking for you. They're looking for somebody in their 20s, maybe early 30s. They're not checking for you over 40 because at that age, rightfully so, you should already have a man. You should have been able to lock down a husband at that age and have your life going. And I think it's unfortunate. It really is because in our community, it seems to be the only community that don't get that. Every other race of people understand the importance of marriage and family. And a lot of them get married and yet divorce is rampant, of course. But there are a lot of people who are committed to one another and understand the importance of family and marriage and all of that young because they were taught that. But in our communities, a lot of us were not taught that and taught the importance of it. So it doesn't mean it's not a big deal to a lot of our people. That's why divorce is so easy. Oh, and a husband is like, oh, well, I get one. Whenever I feel like I don't want him anymore, I'll just leave. It's so easy for them to destroy their families, break up their homes because it doesn't seem of a big importance to them. And, I don't know if you guys have seen this clip. I don't have it. I'm going to probably do it in another video of this woman crying. Several people posted this clip of this woman crying, how she's talking about she don't know what to do with her teenagers, her sons. I don't know if y'all seen that, but she's crying and she's saying she don't know what to do to her sons. They talking back to her and this and that. And I think she have 5 kids and she's crying, depressed because this is the stuff people don't tell you. See, me, I'll tell you the truth. Look, I have a lot of children and I have a husband. But it's still not a walk in the park. You know what I mean? And we have good kids. But what I'm saying is doing it all by yourself, without a father there or any of that's gotta be difficult. And then, see, if somebody was there to tell these women, listen, Just children got to get older. They're not going to be babies forever, right? They gotta grow up. They gotta become teenagers. It's expensive as hell to raise children. You gotta teach them stuff. They're gonna go to school, whatever they're gonna do. These young men, they grow up, and then they're becoming men. So as a woman, they need men to direct them. They need their fathers to direct them into or guide them into manhood, right? So if you're the one that's primarily there, you just had a baby with anybody and that person is not there or don't care to be there, that's going to be difficult on you to do. She's basically saying how, listen, these are boys. I don't know how to raise the boys. Excuse me. I'm having a hard time because they need fathers. So if you could rewind that and look at the importance of why fathers are important and what a family structure is, what consists of, not just you, it's the mother, the father, and you too raise the children. These children need structure. They need balance. They need the both of you. It's not meant for one person to raise them. They need their fathers. And while we know single fathers fare better with their sons because there's the level of structure they use it with men. Men do things differently from us. But I'm a firm believer that children need both. You need, my husband say you need the titty and you need the fist. Not in a crazy way, but you know what I mean? Like you need the nurturing of that mother and the softness from that mother, and you need the rugged, the toughness from that father. So that child there's a balance there. This is why they say a lot of young men who weren't raised with fathers, they're emotional. They act like their mothers. They don't have that balance of the father there. So they act on their feelings and emotions like women. And this is how they become reckless and do things in a emotional driven manner. And then they end up in prison because they don't know how to control their emotions. They don't know how to control their feelings because they're acting like women would normally do because they're following their mothers. So there is something to that. And so I think I say all that to say, this is why I try to stress, listen, how important it is when you're out there, you're young, you don't have any kids. Stay that way until you meet somebody who's like-minded, somebody who wants a family with you, and y'all, get together and y'all build that together, as opposed to going out here just throwing that cooch on anything that you can and popping up pregnant and talking about, well, it's my child, I'm raised by myself, I don't need a father. Then when the children get older, you're struggling with them, and then you want to throw them to the system. A lot of these women don't even want to deal with them. Then when they become teenagers, they just want to throw them to the system. Get rid of them. There's another video with that lady with her son who tore up her house. She's like, oh, I just call the police, tell them come get them. You want to, wash your hands of them because you can't handle it. But this is what you don't think about when they're little. And to me, there's no amount of money in the world that's going to fix that. What are you going to do? Buy them a daddy? What are you going to do? What you going to do? Well, you're going to have to either put them in some type of system or somewhere or somebody who can mentor them. Maybe you can do that and maybe get them on the right track. But why go through all of that? Why not think, listen, I'm not going to lay down and have children just random with anybody, because I know the responsibility is going to be all on me to raise these children, and I'm ill-equipped to do it by myself and just in general. There's no manuscript. There's no book that you can really read to teach you how to parent, because the book, you can get some information, but to actually raise children successfully, there's no book to really tell you how to do that, because the book it can't judge emotions. The book can't judge who the children are, their qualities or lack thereof, or the parents' quality. Like you have to go through it in order to do that. And to me, the best way to do that is make sure you're with somebody who actually wants to raise a family and actually care about you, and you care about them. That way, both of you care about your kids, and you're going to do everything that in your power to raise your children, to get them on the straight and narrow, to keep them on the straight and narrow. You know what I'm saying? Versus just having babies, becoming single mothers, choosing to raise these children by yourself. And that's going to be difficult. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care if you're rich, poor, whatever. It doesn't matter. The money is not going to solve that issue, in my opinion. The money is not going to just give your child any more hope. You could give the child could have millions of dollars at its reach. That's still not going to change the fact that the child doesn't have a father or he's lacking certain things. It's just not going to change that. I just don't see it. So, this is why it's so important. And this is why I stress it. And I try to tell anybody listening that, listen, if you don't have any kids, don't go out here talking about, oh, I didn't care about a man. I ain't care about a relationship. I just wanted the D. All right. And if you have that mentality, know that when you're going out here looking for the D, there's a lot that comes with that. And are you prepared for it? Because a lot of women don't see the problem in it. They celebrate these becoming single mothers. And then when it gets rough, now they're crying and they want to throw the kids to the system or worse. So it's not beneficial to do that, in my opinion. So I really wish that there were more older women who would start telling the truth and stop trying to compete with these younger women and tell these young women what's really going on. But like whatchamacallit said, they don't want to do that because they're still in competition and they're afraid that these women are going to take the men that are left, and they really ain't going to have nobody. But they got to understand, listen, you're a single mother at 50 and 40 and all of that with children. These men probably don't want you anyway. Just saying. Don't mean that you're a bad person. Don't mean that you're, less than. It just means that your time is up. Women gotta understand and be honest with themselves that there is, that clock is ticking. You don't have forever. And that's the lie that they've been telling women that, oh, you got time, girl. I'm just 25. I got time. I don't have to worry about it. I can just pick and choose and whatever I want. If he ain't whatever. Oh, he's a good man, but I don't really like him or whatever. You think you have time and you keep passing up on options as if they're limitless, not understanding that you don't have that kind of time. And they realizing now, next thing you 25, you 30, you 35, you 40, baby, you 50 years old. And you still by yourself, and now you're complaining because now you're feeling it. You see it. Dang, I really would like somebody to be here, and I need help too. This is difficult, but you didn't realize that in your 20s. Oh, a lot of women out here saying, oh, girl, these women telling these girl to hell with F what she's saying, girl. You don't need to be married at no 25. Marriage is for old people. Oh, you don't supposed to be married till you get 40 years old. When I get to my 30s and 40s, that's when I want to settle down. Baby, it don't work like that. And they've been lying to these women, and now these women are seeing it. This is why you have women out here complaining who are some attractive women, but they're like looking around like, why ain't nobody trying to holler at me? Why I don't have my man at this time? Where is my person? And all of this because you passed up on your person thinking that you had umpteen amount of options. You thought that your options would never run out. You thought that you could just be able to pick and choose when you was ready. You thought, oh, in my 20s, I could just do what I want. You already have kids. You already got a house. A lot of these women talk about they already make their money. So you need to come in with the amount of money I make or more, right? So you don't really need them for that because your life is already situated. Your household is already situated. You got your 3 kids, and your 3 baby daddies, but the daddies ain't really around. Can't nobody come in and tell your kids what to do because that's mine and I control that. This is what they say. Not me. That's what they say. So I just need you to come in, just be a partner to me. And I don't need you to come in and do much else because I got my household together. I got mine together. You just come in and but you got it all together, right? You got it all together, but you want this. Okay. So that means, right, he wouldn't have to come in and do anything, but right. Just, give you some good loving, be there for you. Y'all go out, look good together, dress alike, and all that. And the kids, you got that. Your bills, you got that, right? So that means he could come in and just do what he want, and he ain't gotta. You already got that, so he don't have to pay. No, wrong, because you say all of that, but at the same time, you want him to come in and take over your bills, even though you make 6 figures. You want him to come in and make 6 figures or more, and come in and pay all the bills, take care of your kids, even though them your kids. Don't touch them. Don't tell them nothing, right? But you want him to come in and take care of them. When the holidays come, do he buy you a gift? So can he come in and just buy you a gift and you buy him a gift and you get your kids your gifts? Or is he going to be expected to come in and buy all the kids gifts? Feed all the kids, get all the kids some food, take care of the light bills and all the bills while you keep your money. Like, it's just a bunch of BS. And I got a clip that I want to play for y'all that kind of demonstrates that, and I'm pretty sure y'all seen this over and over and over. It's not new, but this is the reality, and this is why these women are having a hard time, even though they hate to acknowledge they're having a hard time. They're exposing that they are having a hard time because they cannot find what they want, and they're constantly blaming it on the men. I say this every time, every day. These women are delusional. Point blank and the period. I don't care what nobody say. You can tell me, oh, well, the men need to do this. Yeah, they do. There are some, but to me, it seems like a small percentage of men who are out here, who are just running around, just not caring, lollygagging. But these women know that they can't get anything from them. But those are the ones that they're having babies with. They're having babies with the ones they know that they don't require much. It's funny how these women who have children, just watch Kendra G, and I know y'all do, which I have a clip from there. These women are on there. They have kids. Oh, what the baby father is? Does he pay child support? Oh, well, he do whatever he can when he can. That means he's not doing much. But your expectations for a man who is not that child's father is far, far more. Why is that? If you can't get child support or you can't get your baby father to do much for his or his child, why is the expectation set so high for a man coming after him? Make that make sense. That'll never make sense to me. Seems like you need to make sure get some things in order with your child's father to make and make him pay for his responsibility. You want another man to come in and pay all your bills, take care of you and your child, and the father is nowhere to be found. He's on easy street. Then a lot of these women will be, getting your resources and going back, dipping in and doing it with the ex. You can't find him to pay child support or spend time with a child, but somehow you find some way to go get the D from him. Because that's the reason why they don't care too much about what he's doing, because it wasn't about him being a protector or a provider, but it was about him giving them good D. That makes them lose their mind. So he put it on them, but he paid no child support, paid no bills, ain't expected to do nothing. But the next man's supposed to come in and give you everything. Everything. He got to be 3-4 times better than what you've had in the past. With more of the responsibility, who's going to sign up for that? Hell to the goddamn no. Divine Photo says, notice from young and older women both always come on dating shows and disregard their kids as if they don't matter in the dating market, and it turns off men. Exactly. I see that too. Thank you so much for that super chat. I agree. And I always talk about my kids come first. No, they don't. No, they don't. That's a lie. I've been hearing that my whole life. I appreciate you again, Divine Photos, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Classy Perspective. What's going on? Classy Perspective says, yes, a lot of these women need that white jacket that makes them hug themselves. Right. Thank you, Classy Perspective. I appreciate you. They do. Because they act like something wrong with them and they lost in the sauce, don't know where they're going, don't know what they doing, child, but they swear they're the most educated child. We know this. We have all this divine intuition, but you don't have no type of intuition when you don't know what's going on with the men, and you asking questions as to why they don't take you seriously, why they cheating on you. You don't have no intuition when it comes to that. You know everything after the fact. If you got all this intuition, why don't you know and pick up on when these men about to cheat, or the fact that they're deadbeats and they're not going to really be there with you, and just leave them alone? Why don't you have that? Why doesn't the intuition work before it all hit the fan? Why is that? Thank you, Classy, for the super chat. I appreciate you. Why do they always have intuition after they've been cheated on, after they've been lied to? Why you don't pick up on that before? What's the point of having this divine intuition if it doesn't benefit you to help you to see, things before it happened? Why? That's not working out. I wouldn't be bragging on having this intuition and all this if it ain't working for me, if it never works. Come on. Don't make no sense. Hustle the Great says child support checks stop when these women hit 50 and 60s, and they and in that stat they start struggling. Probably so. I say this all the time. Thank you for the super chat, Hustle the Great. I appreciate you for that. I say this all the time. A lot of these women, they're not looking for loving relationships. They're looking for help. These kids are expensive. Rent is high. Food is high. These bills are high. Their lifestyle credit cards are through the roof. They done ran them limits up. They need somebody to pay them goddamn high-ass credit cards. They need y'all to pay their debt off for all these bags and shoes and stuff. They need a man to come in and clear their debt out. And they need you to pay these high-ass bills, rent, electricity, phone, credit card. They want y'all to come in and pay these bills because they in debt up to their eyebrows or to their lace fronts. They need y'all to come in and help. So it's not about necessarily finding love. It's about who's going to be the best candidate to come in and help me with these damn bills. That's what it is. They don't want to let go of their side pieces or main pieces or what their mini pieces. They want to be able to go out, be in these streets, throw the whatever left of that coochie that they have on to whoever will accept it. Because they know the men ain't gonna take them seriously, but they know they'll be willing to, hey, it might not be the best coochie, but guess what? She offered it, I'm gonna take it, right? So you still got those out there who will give you some when you feeling lonely and you're depressed, and you could call up Pookie or Puketta or whoever and say, I just need, I'm going through, I'm not feeling too good. Can you come over? Yeah, all right. He ain't got nothing to lose. So when you're feeling bad, you're feeling confused and lost, and you need to have some type of companionship. You need to feel loved in some strange way. So you call them up, one of them, and get that good feeling for a minute and feel like you're worth something for a minute until he leave. When he leave, I give it a day or two, you back depressed because now you back. The realization is you really by yourself, people. And only little bit of loving that you can get or to feel like you got somebody is through the Pookies. So you get that, it's a temporary fix, but you want somebody bad, but you don't really want to stop doing what you've been doing. You really don't want any structure. You really don't want a man coming and telling you any damn thing. You don't want him to tell you nothing. You don't want him to do anything. You don't really want him to show any type of leadership. That's bullshit. BS. I'm sorry, y'all. That's BS. You really don't want any type of leadership for real. Because you're not used to that. You're not used to structure. You're used to going in and doing whatever you want. That's why you're by yourself. So they want to have the freedoms to do whatever it is they want, but you want a man. So what you want is what y'all would call a simp. And I said I was going to stop using that word, but it's hard to stop using it. You want a man who's going to allow you to come and go as you please, do whatever it is you want. You don't want him to say anything. You just want him to come in and pay them damn bills and take care of your kids, but not really take care of them, but take care of them by providing a roof, by providing electricity and whatever they need. But you want to say, well, I don't need a man to come in and do anything for my kids because I got that. But really, if you want a man to come in and pay all the bills, isn't that providing for your kids? Because I would like to think so. He's responsible for their the roof over their heads, food in their bellies, clothes, probably everything. So that's BS. A lot of these, like I said, these women are crazy. They know what they want, but they just can't get it how they want it. Divine Photos, once again, thank you for the super chat. Says standards are for simps. That's why they have a list. Standards are for simps. That's why they have a list. Standards are for simps. You mean like, I'm trying to understand that. Thank you for the super chat. Standards are for simps. That's why they have a list. Oh, okay. You mean like the women who have the list? Thank you, Divine Photos. I appreciate you. It's insanity though. The expectations versus what these women are willing to give in a relationship. Classy Perspective says, never become a janitor. Cleaning zesty pink umbrellas that looks like a spotted owl and smells zesty sauces and scrubbing debts. Mr. Clean isn't really for that job. Well, goddamn, Classy. wait a minute. I wasn't ready for that. God, I wasn't ready for that. Well, damn. Okay. Jeez. Okay. I get it. But thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Dang. But I get what you're saying. It's the truth. But we got to get women to understand that. And I think if we want a better society of, and a better relationships between women and men, women have to get it. I'm sorry. And once again, we can always focus on the men who aren't doing their jobs and the pookies and all that. But I mean, how many pookies are there versus all these combative women? Do you think we got more pookies than we do? If we got more women and men, then there's more women out here who are combative and don't understand relationships versus the pookies. And they've ran through them. And now I don't know what it is that these women are looking for because it's confusing to me. Dee says men are now the platform that women used to flex on other women. His job, money, and titles matter because she weaponizes them against her female peers. Men are now the platform that women used to flex on other women. Got it. His job, money, titles, and matter because she weaponized them against her female peers. I get what you're saying, Dee. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the super chat. I get it. What I was about to say, I'm about to say something else. I want to get to the next clip for you guys because, this is what we're seeing far too often. I just think when it comes to marriage, relationships, I mean, y'all got me. Marriage nowadays, it just seems like an antiquated thing. A lot of men are either skeptical about it or just flat out don't want to do it. I've heard men say they're not doing it. And men who have been married and the wives left, they're like, hell no, they won't ever do that again. And there are some who might still be on the fence about it and may be interested, but I get why so many men are opposed to it because they just don't see the relevance of it and the benefits of it, and I think that's because it's definitely associated with the type of women that we have out here, the women that are presenting themselves, the expectations of these women, the unrealistic things that a lot of these women are looking for when it comes to a relationship. That would be, you would be, in my mind, I could see why a lot of men wouldn't sign up for that because they just don't want to have to deal with it. And, I think it's understandable, for sure. Jontel says it's not just kids, it's that they gave their best to other men. They had more action at the age of 21 than most guys in their 20s altogether. Thank you so much for the super chat, Jontel. I appreciate you. Another good point. And that's why I say your youth, they don't understand. You've been dropping it like it was hot. Just all over the place when you're young because somebody told them when you're young, you're supposed to go to school, have fun, live your life, have your fun. And having your fun don't mean, take a few trips, go to amusement parks and, have a good time, go out to parties or, just go out, go do some things that you haven't done before, go skydiving, go, zip lining, go do some things for fun. No, that fun meant go out and just open your legs and spread them and have all kind of illicit sex and with men is the fun that they're referring to. Go out, have your fun, protect yourself, just have your fun. And that's what they're referring to, as if sex just randomly is the only type of fun that you know how to have. Just go out, get drunk, lose your mind, and have sex. Just have sex and then next thing you know, out of that is usually babies. So they don't protect themselves as well as they should, and then you pop up with something, and then a baby or two or three. And now you've had your fun, you've created babies, and now you get to your 30s. Now you want to settle down. Now you've been ran through. You didn't think about the consequences of that. They told you to go out and have your fun and do whatever you want to do, but they didn't tell you the downside to it. There's always one side. There's this side, and then there's the downside. Nobody told you that's going to be an issue for you when you want to settle down, and have build something with somebody. How are you going to build something with somebody if you've already created a broken home? You've already created your broken home. You have children already. You never was married. Nobody ever really took you seriously. These children are just a result of your fun that you had in your 20s. So now the consequences of you having that fun in your 20s is your children. You're a single mother. Yeah, you went to college, you got a job, you bought your house, all as a single mother, fine. You have established your home, you established your life. So that is your life for the most part. That's your life. There's no coming back from that. Now, some can argue, oh, well, it's not too late. I never said it's too late for anybody. It depends on the situation. There are some success stories, but it's not the majority. There are some people who gotten older and found love with a man and got married in their, in their older age when they both have kids that are grown. It's happened. And there are even some people who've had marriages early on and got divorced and married again. But that's not the majority. For the majority of women who choose that particular lifestyle, there's no coming back from that. You've already established your way of life. That you are an independent boss chick who make her own rules, who made her own way, and you had your own children, and that's your life. You can't now, because you're ready to find somebody who you want to come into your already made lifestyle. You want a man to come into what you've already established. And that's hard. You're going to be hard pressed to find that because men want to establish their own households and own livelihood with their own families, their own children. Just as you chose to have your own children, establish your own lifestyle, your way of living, that man wants to do that too. He don't want to come into your already built made situation and you got to follow her lead. Most men don't want that. And the ones who get caught up into that, end up failing because these women want to control the narrative because they've been doing it from day one. So that's why it's going to be hard and it's hard for a lot of these women to build settle down with somebody once they've already created a lifestyle because men don't want that. And if women are in control of their bodies and men are in control of relationships and marriage, well, this is why they're not getting married. This is why they're not in the relationships that they would want because you've already created your lifestyle. You've already created that. That's the answer. That's the only way I can sum it up for a lot of these women who are complaining as to why men don't take them seriously. Because if you already got your family, you already got and the thing about it is a lot of these women think that it's a flex. They think it's a flex to say, I got my own money, I got my own house, I got my own car. Well, what you need a man for? But you want a man to come in and still pay all your bills, do all this stuff for you, just pay everything for you, just treat you like a queen and all of these things. And for you to turn around and say you don't need him. What kind of stuff is that? I don't know how to pronounce your name, but thank you so much for the super stick. I appreciate you. I'm gonna just say Waba because I don't know how to pronounce it, but thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, and so it's like it's not a flex as a single mother to come out and say I got my own this, I pay for it, I've been doing it. No, you've been an adult that chose the way you wanted to live. So if a man, you can't get mad at men if they don't want to come into your ready-made situation and if they have options. That's just what it is. All right, so we're gonna move on to this next clip, you guys. I thought this was interesting because this woman explains why she's talking about her brother in the situation, but this would explain a little bit of how a lot of black men feel about black women and why a lot of black men choose to date outside their race. Here we go.
Serious? He didn't want to go get a black queen instead? It's giving colorist as he must hate all black women. Does he even love his mother? Yes, go ahead. I see you. Yeah, I got you a little mayo. Okay, go ahead, live your best. Like, listen, boo-boo, I'm just happy that you in love and having a good time.
I'm so sick of this damn rhetoric about black women coming up here. Oh, I don't understand why black men don't come out and talk so much about black women. Because of y'all. Well, not all of y'all, but for the most part, I'm about to take this time to speak up for my very dark brothers. I had to watch one of my brothers grow up through school, be bullied by black women. Light skin, dark skin, it didn't matter. That's why I can't understand this colorism. Because growing up at my school, black people hated their own skin so bad. They picked on my brother. My brother loved black women when he was in school. All he wanted was a black girlfriend. They called him burnt hot dog, hockey puck, every type of black joke they could come up with. One little girl sat in front of me. Oh my God, that boy is so burnt. I'm like, excuse me, that's my brother. She gonna look at me and then, change her whole facial expression. I wanted to punch her in the back of her damn head, but I kept it moving. We was at school. How you light skinned and still ugly? You look like the black side of your family. Yeah, I go there. So that's why black men get up here and date white women, because that's exactly what my brother do now. He won't touch a black woman. And I don't blame him.
I'm about to be messy. You want to know why he dated a white girl over a black woman? They probably had similar interests. He probably complimented her differences just like she probably complimented his differences. You know, the reasons why you date people. And the fact that black women feel the need to interrogate, yes, I said interrogate black men for dating outside their race is crazy to me. Like, I truly believe a lot of y'all were more Malcolm X than y'all were Martin Luther King, but none of y'all want to fucking admit that. And situations like what that black girl just put that man in, that gives credibility to what the fuck I just said. There's no underlying issue as to why he would date outside of his fucking race. He just connected with her, and she just so happened to be white. That's not putting black women down, especially if there was no black women checking for him in the first place. But there's like immediate offense taken to black men dating white women. And I never understood why. Date the person that was meant for you. Love the person that was meant for you. And if you let skin tone get in the way of that, you're just blocking your blessings. You're blocking your potential for true happiness. Stop being weird. Jesus Christ.
All right. What do you guys think about what they had to say? Let me know listen, she was loud. I know y'all crazy, but she had a point there. She had a point. You know, I don't think women don't realize what men go through, period. At all. They don't understand what men go through in the workforce, workplace, in general, just being a black man. They don't understand the difference between how black men have to move versus black women. And we, as black women, I guess there are some things that we have to deal with as well. But I don't know if I don't think it's to the magnitude as to what black men go through. A lot of women have no clue. Just like they always say, well, it's easy for men to just go out and make $200,000. There are lots of men that do it. Then you ask them, okay, but what kind of jobs offer that type of salary? And how many men or how many people, because it ain't even with black men, how many people in general make $200,000 a year? They have no clue. Oh, I don't know. You don't know. You don't know what the hell you're talking about, but you're always talking about it. And if you don't know, either get the information or stop just randomly saying things that you have no clue about. So they don't understand what men have to go through in general. And it's not, black men on top, but just men in general, because at the end of the day, men are men. They all are very similar. They all go through some similar things. You know what I'm saying? As men, just like women. But women don't care about that. You just expect a man to do what you want. Don't matter what he got to go through to get it, or what it takes for him to get it. You just produce it. That's it, because you're a man. But then if you flip that around and say, look, well, as a woman, dang, you don't know what I got to go through to maintain, to build a family, do all of this. And I may not know what you go through as a woman, but if you expect me, if you expect a man to be able to just produce, then the man should expect you to produce the things that you need to produce. So if you want a man to fully take care of you, then you need to be at the house making sure produce a clean house, produce some good food, produce some well-mannered kids, because you're with the children the majority of the time. So you need to produce and make sure they have manners, teach them respect, teach them everything they need to know. You need to make sure that you're doing your part. If you expect all of this from him, you need to make sure that you're on top of everything that you need to do as well. See, that's where the problems come in, because the expectations that women have from men, they're not willing to measure up to those same expectations. If a man expects you to have dinner on the table every day, clean house, have his water ran, have whatever he asks for, that's the least you could do. You should be able to do that. It shouldn't be no issue with breaking him off the loving when he wanted, because if your expectations are so high, his expectations need to be just as high. Why not? And see, that's where the problem lies, because women want to have advantages. They want to be able to expect from you, but expect nothing from them. Your money is my money and my money is my money. Stop. Why can't it be our money? Is if I work, you work, or we work, it's our money, not your money, because you're working. You're working, you're not, but you expect him to, whatever he makes, you want equal amounts. Well, why the expectation for you, there shouldn't be any. Just because you're a woman and you have a vagina, you're just supposed to just do whatever you want. No, that's crazy. And this is where the line draws. This is where, it's not happening like that. A lot of men are now expecting something for their efforts. And when men decided, hey, I'm going to expect something for my efforts, now they're sassy. If a man has a standard, oh, he's sassy. If a man wants certain things in a relationship just like you do, oh, he's sassy. But if you call women gold diggers and 304s because you want to sleep around and you want a man to just come in and pay all your bills and just do whatever you want, and you just give him the bare minimum, what's that called? You got women out here who are specifically looking for transactional relationships. They look how much to DM me and spend a day with me. It's transactional, but you don't want to call that a 304. You don't want to call that a whore or a prostitute. You don't want to call that, right? But you can call men sassy and any other name you want to think of, but you don't want a name for your actions. Tell me that's not a one-sided deal. But it's very hypocritical, and it's very unfortunate, because this is why a lot of these men will be single as well, unless they go outside their race and date somebody else that can give them the things that they're looking for. Because if these women don't want to get it together, which a lot of them don't, then that means they're going to be single. And a lot of men out here who are looking for suitable women to be with, possibly wives, they're having a hard time finding it. So unfortunately, we'll have a bunch of single people. But men do have the option to go off somewhere else and try to find what they're looking for. A lot of these women can't do the same, because those men don't want you either. I'm just saying, as much as they talk about divesting and, I can go outside my race and men ain't black. I haven't seen no black men mad that a woman, now I'm not saying they don't exist, but I haven't seen any black men who are just hard down pressed and mad and making videos about women going out and dating white men. I just don't see it. But I definitely see women who blatantly say they got an issue with seeing brothers with white women or other races of women, but y'all don't want to do anything to change that. You could change that by being better quality women, but you don't want to do it because you're stuck in your ways. You're independent. You don't really need them, but you want them. And then when they go somewhere else, now you're mad. Make that make sense. Hit the like button, you guys. Hit the like button. Looks like we got 378 people in here and only 263 likes. Make sure you guys hit the like button, please. Hit the like button. It definitely helps your girl out. Go ahead and hit that like button before we continue. I have one more clip for y'all. And this, of course, is a Kendra G clip. Shout out to Kendra G. I want to play this one because it kind of basically sums up what I've been saying and what I always say about a lot of these modern women and their expectations. And it's just unrealistic. And a lot of men are pushing back on it and not dealing with these women, just not dealing with them, period. But here we go. Hit the like button, y'all.
Okay, hey, boo.
Hey.
What's your name? Is it Ash?
It's not Ash, but I go by Ash. And my name is not Ashley either.
Do you want me to call you Ash?
Yes.
Okay. Ash, where you calling me from?
I'm from New York, but I reside in Delaware.
Delaware. How old are you?
26.
26. What you do for a living, mama?
I'm in banking.
Okay. Do you have any kids?
I have one son.
How old is your son?
He's 6.
6. Have you ever been married?
No. I've been engaged.
Engaged. And what's your zodiac sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Scorpio. We got Ash, Delaware, 26, Scorpio, in Bacon, mom to a 6-year-old, never married. What kind of man you looking for, girl?
I'm looking for a provider, honestly. I provide for myself, and I feel like if I'm going to be with a man, I just want that weight off of me. I'm also looking for someone who could be my friend, someone who can make me laugh. Just a man, like just someone who could take over and take the masculinity out of me. I can be feminine, but I feel like I give off masculine because I am by myself.
Girl, stop. See, here we go. Here we go again. She said, take the masculinity out her. Did y'all hear that? Girl, how a man gonna take the masculine? What is like what are you supposed to do? Go in and do surgery and take? How are you supposed to take the masculinity out of you? Make that make sense. This is stupidity that we hear. How is a man gonna take the masculinity out of you? Huh? How does that work? I really would like her to explain how does that work. Take the masculinity out of you. What are you supposed to do that? See, this is the insanity that we see. Upward Man says, hello, Miss DeeDee. This is my first time catching a live stream as a husband and father of 21 years. Congratulations to you. I fear for the future options of my children. Shake my damn head. Me too, Upward Man. I agree. We can relate on that because I think the same way. I'm like, oh my God, who are my sons gonna marry? Hell, are my daughters gonna find husbands to marry? Because if men are skeptical about marriage, where does that leave them? You know what I mean? Because I remember somebody asking me how this is going to affect. Well, I'm married. I've been married for damn near 26. We've been together for damn near 26 years now, but married going on 24 years, if I'm not mistaken. But so been off the market myself, but I am concerned about my children. They're growing up, they're young adults, and I'm just like, what are they gonna, what's it gonna be like for them? Am I gonna be able to, they're gonna be able to get married, and am I gonna be able to have grandchildren and things like that? Because I'm looking forward to all of that. And so I'm just like, what is it looking like? I am very concerned for my children. Like, are they gonna be able to find people to marry and all of these things? So I'm right there with you, Upward Man. I'm right there with you. I'm very concerned about their future when it comes to that. But, thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Class Perspective says, so she's got a man that provided the DNA and became a masculine woman. Huh? Who is she? Goku from Dragon Ball Z turns sweet and the transform into the Glorilla. Laughing my ass off. Class Perspective, you funny today. What's going on? How you been? Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Divine Photo says, imagine a man saying, I need a woman to make me masculine. Right. He'd be laughed off the internet. Modern women don't look how ridiculous, look at how ridiculous they sound. Exactly. Right. A man can't say that. Thank you, Divine Photos, once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, they don't think about what they say. They just say it because they've never been questioned or really like, you know what I mean? Nobody really comes for them. Nobody never really, let them have it. They just say what they want and it's acceptable. But that's the problem. But yeah, because if a man walked around and said, well, I need a woman to make me masculine. So you've been feminine the whole time? You've been feminine, walking around like a woman. Hey girl, hi child, what's going on? What's going on? Hi. And then you get a woman, let's do it. And what you do, like how you do that, I don't understand. Like, so a man comes in and he's gonna make it, that's some BS. It's some BS. It really is. But let's continue, y'all. Hit the likes up, y'all. Make sure y'all hit the like button. Hit the like button, y'all.
Okay. You started off with a provider. So what's your definition of a provider?
Someone who's gonna pay my bills.
Point blank, period.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna have this conversation because I know this might be said. You're a mom to a 6-year-old. Does the father help out? Are you getting child support? Is he doing that opposed to a new man to come along to take care of you and your child?
He's not on child support. He helps when he can, and he's not consistent, which is why which is why we're not together. Sorry, I don't know if you heard that last part.
Yes. So no, say it again.
So he helps when he can, but he's not consistent. So that's why we're not together. Meaning the co-parenting is not there. So if I get a man, I want my man to take on my son and be one with me and have that consistency, because the dad is not in with that. Like, it's not like we don't talk or we can't.
Girls, shut up, sit down, have several seats, close the front door. Child, I know you lying. See what I'm saying? This is some BS if I have ever seen it. So the father, you had laid down, had a baby with a man who's probably never been consistent, never been a provider, never been any of that. But you got a child with him. And now you're looking for somebody to come in and take on that child, take on you, take on all of the bills, all the responsibility. And I bet the dad could just show up whenever he wants to, get his child, talk shit, do whatever, that man who's coming in and taking on all this would have to deal with that, because then you're gonna say that's his dad, but he ain't doing shit for him. He's daddy, but he ain't did shit for him. But this man he's gonna have to. Any man who signs up for this is gonna have to deal with that. You can't tell me nothing different. I've seen this actually, where the deadbeat dad could show up anytime he want without paying child support, haven't done anything for the child, been inconsistent the whole time, and he could show up and I want my son. And if the other guy say, look, I've been taking care of this kid, that man who's coming in taking on all the responsibility won't have a case to stand on. He won't have any leverage in that situation, because I guarantee you she's gonna take the deadbeat side over this man, because the leverage that the deadbeat has is that's his son or that's his daughter. You coming in, taking on all that responsibility, you have no say so in the world. You have no leverage in that. You're just the provider. You're just the wallet for all of that. This is why when men say, "Hey, I don't," that video of that man going viral saying, how are your kids going to be an asset to me? This is why they won't be. You have no authority. You have nothing in you. You have not a dog in that fight. You have nothing. You just got to stand back and take that L every time it comes up. And you got to be the bigger man. Like these women say, oh, a real man. They'll call a real man who will come in and take that on, because I mean, why is he a real man by coming in and doing all this and it doesn't benefit him? Come on now. You'll be better off finding a woman who doesn't, that doesn't have that. You don't have to deal with that. That is not beneficial to any man. I'm just saying. And for so long, women have been getting away with this. They've been getting away with this, but now it's hard. They're having a hard time. MIA Adam, the Cheese is King, says, that's a strong no for me. This is madness. I know that's right. Thank you so much for the super chat. I know that's right. Get your passports. Lewis Davis says, this is pretty pathetic. There's absolutely no call for this. I guess American Black women as a collective know why we're disengaging from pursuing American Black women, yet they simply refuse to accept accountability for why this is happening. Unbelievable. I appreciate that, Lewis. Thank you so much for the super chat. You're absolutely right. 100% hands down. Thank you once again for the super chat. I 100% agree with that, because it's the truth. They know why it is. They just don't want to accept it because they don't want to make any changes. When you don't want to accept something, you don't want to be accountable. It's because you don't want to change anything. You want to continue the way you're going, but somehow manifest a greater result. And when they can't manifest that result, all they can refer to is shaming tactics. Shame the men. Let's shame the hell out of them and see if they'll feel bad about it and start taking us on. No. That's not happening. Now they're running scared, crying, talking about bills, and can't even raise their own children by themselves, having a hard time doing that. Next level says overweight, used womb, matted up hair, and the audacity. Ma'am, put your family back together. Get the DNA provider to provide for you. Period. Thank you so much, Next Level, for the super chat. Baby, it's a mess, right? Let's continue.
But he's just not that, it's not what I want for my son.
So what would you say to the man that would say you have a higher expectation for the next guy opposed to the one that you have for the man you had a baby with?
I'm not with him.
But you had a baby by him, and you want a new man to take care of you and your child. So men will say this, and I know it's going to be said, that's why I want you to respond to it. You want a new man to come along to take care of another man's child and you.
I don't want him to he doesn't have to take care of my child. I'm not coming in with the expectation of you to take care of my child, but we are a package deal. And the reason why
you're not trying to get him to take care of your child, but on the flip, y'all a package deal. What that package deal means, you want somebody to come in and take care of your child the way she explained it the first time. You want somebody to come in and pay all your bills. That is taking care of you and your child, because if your child is in that household, the bills are being paid for that household. That's taking care of your child. You see what I'm saying? The confusion of it all. It's what they think, and they're not thinking logically and for what it really is. It's just they feel a certain way and they run with it. Let's continue.
What my child's dad is because we don't have that understanding. So if a man is coming into my life, we are going to have that understanding.
But just for clarity, you said you want the new man to pay your bills, right?
Right.
Doesn't your child live with you?
Yeah.
So wouldn't that be taking care of your child if he's paying your bills?
Absolutely.
Right.
So you do want a man that's going to take care of your child?
Absolutely.
You
But
said
it's
you
not,
didn't
it's
want
not
that
a
a
stand. I'm
second
not
ago.
okay, so I don't want to get us misconstrued. It's not a standard. You don't need the basic necessities for my child. You don't need to take care of. Meaning, I would never ask you and say, "Hey, my son needs a haircut. My son needs."
Just not to cut you off. Basic necessities. Would you want a man to pay your rent or your mortgage?
If we live together, absolutely.
That's the most basic necessity for your child because they're paying for the roof that your child lives in.
Right.
To each his own, Kendra.
Okay, we can keep going. We can keep going.
Well, but see how she contradicts herself. It's like you're stuck on stupid. Honestly, you're saying one thing, trying to make it into something else. Then basically that's what she said. It. You want somebody to come in and pay all your bills. You would prefer a man to come in and take care of you and your child, just like she said. And if he's going to pay if he comes in and he pays the rent, all your bills, you want him to give you money. You want him to take care of that child. Make sure y'all all eating and taking care. That's what you want. That's what they want. You don't, you don't even have to like him, probably. If he's somebody who's who's dumb enough, in my opinion, to come in and do all of that, you will accept it. Don't even care nothing about him. You don't care what he look like, nothing. As long as he coming in, paying the bills and treating you like the queen you think you are, you're going to be fine with that. That's what I'm saying. It's not about love or really building anymore. It's about who's going to help them out. Divine Photo says, I work in a school and I see other races of married women that work. Yes. Solo income not going to cut it. We all have to work. She not special. Inflation is high. I know that's real. Thank you so much for the super chat. Once again, Divine Photos. I mean, that's the truth. And they act like they like to refer to other races of women like these women don't work. I see them too, working. They're working together. The husband and the wives. Classic Perspective says, I only want package deals when I go to the movies. I know that's right. I know that's right, Classic. Thank you so much for the super chat once again. Yeah, this package deal stuff is what them old men did back in the day. Them men who was, took on these single mothers. These modern men, oh, hell to the no. They're not taking no package deals. They're not trying to get these one with these damn children. They don't want to have, it's expensive to live. Shit, what people paying $1,400 and $1,200 and $1,300 for a studio apartment nowadays? That's what I'm hearing. $1,300 for a studio apartment. Hell, when I was coming up, when I was a teenager, studio apartments in New Orleans was like $250, $300 for a studio apartment. Now they paying what, $1,200 and $1,300 for a studio apartment? And you talking about you want somebody to come and pay all your bills? And half of these women don't want the men to come in and live with them, so he gonna have to pay his bills plus your bills and all of that. What y'all think these men are made of? They're not made of money. If you can't afford it, why you expect him to have to come in and afford it? Hell, if you're struggling, why you want him to struggle to pay all your bills when he can pay his own, which is probably cheaper than yours? Because most men are a little bit more frugal than women. From what I've seen, what I've observed, most men are more frugal than women. Women like to go for the most expensive things. Men don't. But that's just what I've seen. John Taylor says she's trying to trick us into a bad deal, like when Amazon cuts the price by $5 but raises the shipping by $6. We see the scam, no sale. I hear you on that, John Taylor. But if you get Amazon Prime, you don't have to pay for shipping, right? Amazon Prime, you get shipping is free. So that's how I do it. Anyway, thank you for the super chat, John Taylor. I appreciate you. Luke Hazley says super sticker. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Luke Hazley. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. Let's continue, y'all.
I'm doing it myself now, and I'm single. Right. And I don't come to a man and say, "Oh, pay my bills." But if you're a man and you're single, and I'm a woman and I'm single, what makes you and we're together? Why can't you pay the same bills that I'm paying? And I was doing it when I was single. Like that's how I think. Like I don't know.
I think that's how you think, and and I want to be clear because I'm not really trying to get
Well, hold on. I'm sorry, y'all, for stopping it. You are an adult. When you create a child and you start your life without, requiring a husband or anything, stability is what I would call it, then you are responsible for your life. You're responsible for your own bills. You're responsible for taking care of your child. You chose to create a child with a man who's not really participating in that child's life. So your response, it's all of the responsibility is on you. That's what you chose. So it's not really, women got to stop using, well, I pay my own bills and I do all that before you. Because it's your bills. You created those bills. You created that lifestyle. So it's your responsibility to take care of it. It's not his responsibility to do that. He has his own life and his own bills, his own responsibilities that he's taking care of, hopefully. He does not require to take care of yours. Just bottom line. Let's continue.
Give you a lot of pushback. I'm really just having a dialogue conversation, to be quite honest. I'm not a man. You're not looking for me. But what I've heard men say is, you're correct. You're already paying your bills and you're taking care of yourself. So why is the expectation for him to do that for you? That's what the guy would say, counter to what you just said.
Why is it the expectation for me to be a woman and be your woman and be submissive to you and be with you? Why do I have to do that if I'm doing it on my own right now? I'm paying my own bills. I live by myself. I can sleep when I want, pee when I want, look how I want when I want in my own place. Why is it that I have to settle and pay bills and be a roommate with you and still have to be that feminine person? I would rather be alone. So that's why I feel like that. I want my man to provide for me the same way I'm going to provide for him. And that's that.
Okay. Fair. What ways are you going to provide for him? You want more children and stuff like that?
I don't want any more children until I'm married. So if my man wants children and we get married, then that's when we will have a kid. If we're just dating and we dating, then that's it. But we wouldn't move in with each other because I have a kid. So it's kind of like a rocky situation. Like, I'm looking for marriage when it comes to like dating and whatever. If we're going to be flings, then we're going to be flings. I'm young, but.
Okay. And just stop making me look like an elephant, you guys, on TikTok. Just for clarity, and then we'll move back right along. So this is what you desire from your husband. So would you expect a man to provide in the dating aspect or only when you're married?
I would say he would have to show that he can provide in the dating aspect before we even get married. Like, how would I know that you can even do that? Like, I wouldn't, like, no. Yeah, you would do it when we're dating. Okay. Like, before we get married. You gotta crawl before you walk, Kendra.
Girl, that ain't funny. She sounds dumb. I'm sorry, Goffy. She sounds dumb. Okay, look, this is where they get it twisted. Listen, the way you know what a person is about, whether it's man or woman, is by dating, by having a conversation. You date. See, if they did what they would call courting and dating the way you're supposed to, it wouldn't be all about the money. It's about getting to know the person. By getting to know the person, talking to them, finding out their background, what they do for a living, what their expectations are, where they're going in life, what they've already accomplished, things of that nature. If people were more focused on that, you would know what he already. Because if he's about the right things, then more than likely he's already on that trajectory. He's already done things, or he's already doing things to align him with his path and where he's going. He doesn't have to pay. The proof would not be him paying all your bills to prove that he can take care of you. What he's already doing in his life and where he's headed, the things that he's working on, will show you that he's on a trajectory to greater things. Having a conversation, getting to know a person is where it's at. You don't just sit down and a man just supposed to come in when he dating you and you just say, okay, well, if you're going to date me, if you want marriage, then you got to pay all my bills to take care of my son. You got to be out your rabbit mind. That's not how a man proves to you what he's about. Because how do you prove to him what you're all about? Does that mean all of his expectations and what he wants in a wife, that you should be doing that as a girlfriend, which a lot of these women don't want to do? So a lot of women like to use the word submission or submissive now, but that's a word a lot of them really don't like. And this is why I think they're using it to try to trick bag a man into thinking that they're what they want. And a lot of these women hate that word. They don't know what it is to be a submissive woman to a man, because it's not something that you just come out. Like she said, you need a man to make you into that or to bring it out of you. That means it's not in you in the first place. That means you are not submissive. You're not a feminine woman. You're not that type of woman that man might want. So you're just going to try to fake it to get his attention, to reel him in, and then your true nature is going to come out, and then that's not going to work. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these women don't want to cook. You don't want to clean. You don't want to do none of these things. You want to be able to be lazy, do whatever it is you want. Like she said, wake up, be however you want to be. You don't really want to put in the work for a man, but you want him to show and prove what he can do for you by paying all your bills. That doesn't make any sense. If anything, if I was a man and a woman was telling me I gotta date her, if I'm going to date her, I gotta pay her, I would think that she's lazy, that she's, that something's wrong with her. Because why can't you afford to pay for your bills and you have a child? Why do you need me to pay all your bills? You're an adult. I'm an adult. Why are you asking me to pay for you and your child? That would be a big red flag, and I would just go the opposite way because I'm like, hell to the no. That's not a flex. That's a turn off. That would be a turn off to any man, really. That is not something I would be embarrassed to meet a guy and telling this guy, I need you to pay my bills. That would make me feel like I can't take care of myself. And if you are these independent, strong women that can take care of this and do all of this, why would you want to come off as a lazy bum who's not responsible enough to take care of yourself? That's how I would see it. Like, you can't take care of yourself. All you're looking for is a meal ticket. You don't want me. You just want me to come in and pay your bills and take care of your child because the baby daddy won't do it. That's how I would see that. I'm just saying, baby. Let's continue.
I just want you to prepare. Be prepared, because you're going to be a highlight, and it's going to be a lot of conversation, child. Let's keep going. We stay here for a long time. What are your deal breakers besides not being a provider?
Bad hygiene. Okay. Bad hygiene is definitely a deal breaker for me. Bad money management is definitely a deal breaker for me. You don't have to be rich, but you definitely have to be able to manage money.
Okay. Should you look a certain way?
No. You have to, again, I feel like good hygiene, you can look anyway. You could be a big guy as long as you keep a good cut, or a tone guy. I'm really into getting more in tune to my health because I'm getting older. So I would prefer someone who's take their health serious as well, or is getting into that could teach me some other stuff. But I'm not against, someone who is not up to standard. You can't look ugly. I'm cute. Like, yeah. But, I'm not one of them. No.
Okay. What about money? Should he make a certain amount of money?
He has to make more than me, or at least as much as I make, so we can get somewhere.
Okay, what's that minimum?
Kendra, you making me put my business all on the street.
Well, okay, don't give the exact.
I make 60. So he would have to make 60 or above, and I don't think that's a lot. I think that's so.
Let's do the Kendra Cam.
Oh, okay, let's see. Let's see what she goes to do. Come on, girl. Be fit.
Okay, we see you. All right, girl. Okay. It's juicy. Juicy booty.
Okay, Kendra, that's what you want to call it, Kendra?
What was your last relationship, Ash?
My last relationship was last year.
Last year. You don't have to answer, but I'm going to ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Is that guy an option?
2 weeks ago.
No.
Why not?
Because he's still in his era, I would say. Like, we're more friends than, I would say, looking for a relationship. Like, we knew each other for a long time. So when we chill, every time we don't do it, if that makes sense. Like, we, So no, I wouldn't. I don't.
Okay.
That's just my little. No.
Okay, so that's not an option. 3 flaws you have to work on.
I have a smart ass mouth. I would just say my mouth. I'm clingy, and I wouldn't say clingy in an annoying way, but it is annoying. It's very annoying. I'm very clingy. I be wanting my person to be my person. Like, I'm very possessive. That's that. Those are the things I would need to work on.
Now, this the part that gets me all the time. And I watch Kendra G show a lot. The flaws. Their flaws they really don't pull out the flaws that they need to be pulling out. You know what I mean? One big flaw is the weight, get in better shape. Didn't she say she want a man who's into health and, you know, getting it together, you know, and usually when they say that, some of them I see are actually fit. But when you say that, baby, you better be fit. And you come out and you know, you as big as you are, it's contradictory. You know what I mean? Like, come on now, you want fit, but you're not really there. Don't say that then. Just say, don't even mention that till you get yourself together. That's how I feel. You know, and what else I want to say? This, yeah, the idea, the question, like, so she just had sex with somebody 2 weeks ago. So that, but that's not an option for you to date. But you're friends with this person and you're having sex. So any man that might be interested in you would have that would be of a concern, right? I would like to think it would be like, okay, who is this guy? You have a connection to this guy because just slept with him 2 weeks ago and probably will sleep with him again. Is this still a thing? Because a lot of these women will date other men and still be having sex with other men. I just find that, and I know I'm old school. I gotta be old school because I think differently. I feel like if you're dating one person, you need to date that person, get to know that person. I don't think you should be having sex with other people if you really, with, you know, trying to build something with this person. Now, if that doesn't work, then then I guess it would be different. But if you're intimate with somebody else and you're dating this person, and you know, I mean, also when you get serious with this person, then you're supposed to cut the other person off. I don't know. I wouldn't trust that because a lot of women don't usually cut it off. They usually, that's somebody they really kind of low key like, but that person just don't want them. Usually when women do that, it's because they really are into that guy, but that guy don't want them. And, you know, and so that's what's the hold up. But if that guy would say any day, you know what, I want to be with you, they'll jump at the chance, leave anybody else they're dating alone. That's how I've seen it. Upward Man says this is cleanup bae. She's looking for future divorce to establish a secure future for her and her illegitimate children. Thank you for the super chat, Upward Man. I appreciate you. MIA says that's a hell no for me, juicy. You know, I mean, it is what it is. She's not an ugly woman. I don't think she's ugly, but I think that, you know, those, when you mention flaws, you know, that's probably more things that they could bring up. And some of them are hard pressed to even get 3 flaws. They can't even name 3. So, you know, that's a flaw. That's a red flag within itself, in my opinion. Let's continue.
And why would a guy be lucky to be with you, Ash?
Why would a guy be lucky to be with me? I don't know. I feel like if I answer that, I'm going to be very cliche and say like, oh, I'm this, I'm that. Like, I don't know. A guy would be lucky to be with me because I'm me. Like, I can probably, I don't know. That's a hard question.
Okay, that's for you.
Why that's a hard question? If you have all of these qualities, why is that a hard question? That should be an easy answer. You know, you should be able to name off the qualities that you have. And I find that a lot of these types of modern women can't name their qualities. You could name everything you want from him, but you can't name any qualities that you could offer him. You see what I'm saying? And that's a problem, in my opinion. Divine Photo says, I never understood hunching on someone that's not into you. I think it's weird behavior. We have to do better. I agree. Thank you once again for the super chat. I appreciate you. Let's continue.
Okay, you're 26. What's the age range you would date?
I would say 28 to 40.
40. Okay. And could the guy have kids already?
He have kids.
You have kids. All right.
Take care of them, and they're not like babies, and he's out of the red zone.
Okay. You know, I'm just thinking right here, and I'm sitting and I'm learning something new every day. And I think our dialogue is the disconnect, I think, that we're having between men and women. Because from your stance, I actually get it. You're like, I'm already paying all my bills and I'm taking care of myself. So in your mind, if I'm going to be your woman, as in, I guess I'm assuming you're going to cook, clean, you know.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. Take care of business.
I'm going to be having sex with you, all those things. Why would I contribute to the bills if I'm going to be doing all that? I'll just stay by myself. So that's and I understand that point of view. Then there's the man point of view, which I understand too. It's like, okay, the expectation is you want me to provide, And some men like, you want me to provide for another man's child. And for record, I understand you're saying you're not going to have any more kids unless you're married. It makes sense. And then you said, I need signs of you being a provider before I even marry you. So, and I understand that point of view too. So I think that is the big circle of disconnect between men and women right now. One of them.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, Kendra, these women are expecting way more than what they're willing to offer. I think that's the thing. And a man doesn't owe you anything just by dating. They're expecting this while dating. And I can understand, honestly, if a woman is saying, look, I'll date, we're dating. I'm not going to just rush and give you my body. You know, if she's that type of woman that has morals and values about herself, then I think any man should be able to respect that she's not a 304. She actually respects her body and she respects herself. So she's a respectable woman who's dating for marriage and for the long term. So that type of woman to me is to be respected. And a man should understand that this is a different, higher caliber woman because she's not out here just ready to open her legs at hello. You know what I mean? And on top of that, she understands, listen, I'm looking for a real relationship. I'm looking for a man to be married to build a family with. I'm not just looking to take your money. So to me, any self-respecting woman is not going to expect a man to, first off, she's not going to be looking to just sleep with you. That's one. This is how they got they become baby mothers in the first place, because you're just sleeping with a man and you didn't have any expectations from him. You could sleep with him, let him, dig up in them guts as much as he want, even, and pull out a baby. And there was no expectations for him, still no expectations for him. Now you want this new man with standards to come in and say, oh, well, he got to pay my bills while I'm dating him because you want me to have sex. Who said he wanted that? Maybe he's trying to build something more than just sex. And I think that's the problem. Everybody's focus is just on sex. Either you're not getting enough or you're getting too much. And that's all you care about, when there's more to a relationship than just the sexual aspect. To me, that's the problem with the world now. Everybody's focused on hitting it and getting it, and that's it, and nothing else matters. And then when you're done, when you're hitting it and all of that is overrated, when it's now that's all you got. Even men are saying they want more than that. Men, what's that man? Lenny Kravitz even said if this is true, he hasn't been in a relationship or had sex in 8 years because he wants to give himself to something meaningful. He's tired of having just meaningless sex. After you've done it all, what is there left to do? Sex shouldn't be the priority, in my opinion, because after a while that gets old. You want something more. You want more than just sex. You want a connection. You want something that's meaningful. You want to actually have a relationship with a person and not just sleep with them and run to the next. Because that becomes, if that's easy for you to do, it gets old. A man wants more than just that. So what if she met a man who was like, look, I'm not just jumping to sleep with you. Of course, I mean, if I'm attracted to you, that would be nice, but that's not my first priority. I want to get to know you. I want to know things about you. I want to see if we, have things in common. And things of that nature. But I mean, off rip, these women are expecting that these men just want to have sex with them. And so if you want to do that, that's where the transaction comes in my opinion. It's like, okay, it's a transaction. You want to sleep with me? Pay all my bills. That's how they're looking at it. But what would she say if a man came and said, look, I don't want to just jump and have sex with you. I want to get to know you. I'm just not going to throw my weenie inside of you. And I don't know if you got something. I don't trust your coochie. I don't know what's going on with you. What if you met a man like that? Would that be awkward? Would you know what to do with him? Would you think something's wrong with him if he said he's not jumping to have sex with you? He wants to get to know you, know things about you. What if he has those types of standards where he's had all kind of vagina and he's just not looking for the vagina? He wants something more. If a man approached her, she wouldn't know what to do with that, because all you think is men are just ready to have sex with you. So this is why that expectation of paying all my bills comes into play. So part of the reason I think we're seeing this too, there are men who saying, I want more than just vagina. I can get that. That's easy. What else do you offer? What else can I expect from you? That's where they usually have a problem. They want to either call them gay or they're sassy or something ain't right. If they don't have kids by 25, I don't trust them. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know what to, because that if more men are going into relationships saying, listen, I'm not trying to get sex with you right away. I want to get to know you. What else can we do? How can we get to know each other? That throws these women off. I tell you the truth. It really does. Because the only thing that they expect men to expect from them is sex. That's why they don't know what else. That's why what do you bring to the table is such a harsh thing for them. Because the main thing that you offer is your body, sex. Because you think every man is just jumping head over heels for it. Now, maybe there are some desperate men who haven't had sex in years or just haven't had a chance to get a woman. Maybe they might be, but I mean, men who get it all the time, I wouldn't think that that's the. I know, and I know this. Look, we all like it, men and women. Women like sex just as much as men. So, I mean, it is what it is. But you know, if you're getting it, it probably wouldn't be the main thing that you care about it, but it's not like a desperate attempt for it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, if you're really interested in a person, you look at them for more than just that. You know, yeah, that's going to be great, but what else? And I think that what else is what throws the women off, because they think if they're willing to give you the sex, you should be willing to pay all their bills anyway. That's why I think that comes into play, because they're thinking of it like that. But when they meet a man and he's not really, you know, as concerned about the sexual aspect as he is about other things, that's when they don't know what to do. That's what I see. The White Palmer says her ultimatum is for her past baby daddies. Thank you so much for the super chat, Dwight. I appreciate you. Let's finish the last little bit of this, y'all.
One of them. All right. Well, let's do it, Ash. For the guy that can handle your ass, how could he reach out to you?
You can reach me on Sleeve Ash on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok. I don't have any other platforms.
Okay, so what is it on TikTok?
Sleeved, SLEEV _ED _
Ash. Okay. All right, boo. Well, you keep me posted how it goes, baby.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Bye, baby.
Good luck to you, Cheryl. I hope you find what you're looking for. Classic Perspective says, I was accused of having a crinkled slinky because I don't have kids in my 40s. What? Thank you for the super chat, Classic. Oh my God. What in the world? Oh my Lord. Baby, these people be crazy. Yes, Lord. Oh Lord, have mercy. Anyway, so what time is it? Okay. So we got a few minutes. So I'm going to drop the link. Now, new thing, you guys. If you want to come up and give your thoughts on this live, you gotta cam up. So that's a new thing we're doing. You gotta cam up. So I allowed it when I wasn't camming up, but I cam up. I got to cam up now. So everybody else got to cam up too. So if you want to come up and give your 2 cents on this live stream, or, you know, have something you want to say, you definitely have to be cammed up. So make sure you guys cam up to join if you want to give your thoughts on this this live stream. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the link if anybody want to give their 2 cents. Go ahead. If you don't, we're going to end up wrapping this up, you guys. Make sure you guys are hitting the like button for me. Hit the like button while I'm putting the link. Hit the like button, you guys. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, you guys. So if anybody want to join real quick to give your thoughts or 2 cents or whatever, ask a question, go ahead and hit the link. I pinned it to the top of the chat. If not, we're going to wrap this up. But if you want to do that, make sure you cam up. You got to cam up to pop up if you want to. Thank you guys so much for hitting the like button. I think we got the likes up, I think. So I appreciate you guys for that. Also, while we're waiting for somebody to hit the link, Make sure if you are here and you haven't subscribed to the channel, hit the subscribe button. It is free to subscribe. Also, hit that notification bell to be notified when I upload new videos, and click the all so that you'll get all of my videos and live streams or whatever content I post. What else? Also, if you want to become a channel member, go ahead and join the membership to support the channel as well. And I think that's about it for that. If you want to come up, you gotta cam up. So you have to be on camera. Michael, you gotta be on camera if you want to give your thoughts. How you doing? Can you hear me? Yeah, you up?
I'm there.
Yeah, you here.
Oh my God, y'all did it. That's what's up, man. Hey, listen, I've been trying to send you a super chat, right? And they send me to this other thing, right? Because I got you know, this tablet, and let me get to the point. All right, cool. I like the topic. It really helps us brothers develop, knowing that beautiful Black women are speaking in the betterment of us, right? Mm-hmm. I know I know I made mad mistakes, but please, I don't want to take over. Listen, I'm not being rude or anything. Listen, let me keep the phone still. I'm tripping.
Okay.
All right, let me calm down. I just got off work. I go to work at 5:30 every morning. But you got to remember something. At first, I was fully disabled for 23 years, and I was with a woman. She had three daughters. Now, my baby moms of my first daughter, right? I'm not trying to sound brash or whatever, but I had to beat his ass because he came disrespectful to the daughter, and you know, even she agreed. But let me get to the point. I'm sorry. My mentor told me I'm using too many words when you explain yourself, and I'm gonna try to be. My bad. All right. Okay. All right. So look, I was on drugs. And one day I thought to myself, I said, yo, man, I'm about to change everything. I'm about to go to the West Coast. So I went to Chula Vista. And 3 years later, after me, you know, I was with the stepdaughters, you know, all right, let me back up. My first baby mother, she didn't want to be with me, right? She cheated on me with all of my friends, and I was 15 when I met her. Okay. So as I aged, you know what I mean, I realized, hey, man, I just want to be a father because I never had my father. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I wanted to make sure that when I had children, that I would at least try my best, you know what I mean, to be there. I'm sorry, hold up. Please, just give me a few minutes. Please, I'm sorry, pardon me, please. Because when I met my second baby mother, she wasn't my baby mother at that time. She took and she used her children because she had 3 daughters. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't get in contact with my daughter, but she used her daughters because she was like, well, you got daughters here, you know what I mean? Man, I changed their life. They was making straight Fs, not trying to put them on blast, but they didn't have no guidance and direction. So I took them to Cali, right? Mm-hmm. And you know, I've made nothing but straight A's my whole life. I don't know about failure. I've never failed. Like right now, we get to that. Hold up, please. Hold up. Give me 1 second, please. Oh my God, I can't believe you answered the phone, man. This is what's up. I'm on D Live, man. I'm on D Live. It's crazy. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let me calm down. I'm getting emotional. You know, I'm bipolar, manic depressive, schizoaffected with PTSD. I'm not supposed to be working. I'm not supposed to, but I'm working. I work, I get up at 5:30 and I work till about 2:30 in the afternoon. It enabled me after this lady kicked me out. She kicked me out after 23 years. No, hold up. We went to Cali, right? So we went to Cali and I went to Cali to try to straighten myself up because I was on drugs. A lot of stuff happened with me. Soapbox Willie is bugged out. But I'm one of them dudes that always made A's. I went over there. I got clean. I've been clean 15 years. And I told him to come through. Like on the third or fourth year that, you know what I mean? I was over there corrected my life.
Mhm.
And it was so beautiful. When she see me in my clean state,
Yeah.
man, she's one of those women that like kind of like stay under the family. She won't detach her umbilical cord from her mother, right?
Okay.
But she said, I'm gonna come over there because I showed her, like, you know, in Chula Vista, we moved over there, we did our thing. And when she came there, you know, when she was staying over here where I'm at, I'm in Raleigh, you know what I'm saying, at the time. You know, they only give out Section 8 and food stamp. California, they give out benefits, you know, food stamps and Section 8. So when she went there and they gave her a couple $1,000s, I was like, wow, because I'm like, that's what's up. I'm so glad that you're enhancing yourself. Now, me, I'm disabled. Like I said, man, depressive, schizoaffective with PTSD.
Mhm.
Boom. She was like, I need my disability. She got disability, all that. And she getting aid. But when she got on a high horse of the people help, see, a lot of y'all, a lot of women, they don't put into the source of what they say to make them bosses and all that. A
Right.
boss pay people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people, white, every woman, like, because the government wants to try to diminish men because they need the taxes from y'all. Because it was one time y'all couldn't work, but when they allowed y'all to work, now they can tax y'all.
Mhm.
That threw us in the backside, like, oh shit, now I gotta battle Shorty. But no, it ain't a battle. It's about bigging each other up.
Mhm.
Since she left me, right? After she got a little disability, all that shit, you know, I helped her. Shit, I done helped like 10 people get their disability. You know what I mean? Because it's only what you say that they can understand to make the paperwork right. Like, you can go to court. If you say the wrong thing, you done threw yourself in this category. You
Mhm.
say the right thing, you throw yourself in this category, right? But
Right.
it's only the truth. It's no lying. We from North Carolina, and we out there in San Diego, man, Chula Vista, man. I had to go homeless. She wouldn't open the door. She turned my twin. See, when you become a stepfather, right? Um, Sometimes, like, the stepfather has children, and the children that you have with this woman that already got children, they the little kids, the little sisters, the little brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They gonna take on the moniker of what the older sibling has to say. And it's crazy because like Kaylee Kiera are the beautifulest twins in the world. And it's nothing I could do about it because they trying to be like my stepdaughters who don't recognize me. And everything was good when their father was like a bad guy or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, but once he passed, peace and blessings to the brother, because I always had peace with him. I even told him he can come to Cali and spend the month with his seeds. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Yeah.
I'm like the illest stepfather, but I can't say that for myself. I feel that way because I did the best that I could. After
Right.
she left me, I lost my studio, over 50,000 songs, beats, and everything. Um, I can't. I don't have a studio now, but I'm building it. I just bought a tiny home. I got me an act. You know what I'm saying? In like 5 months, I done elevated, and every day I think about her. But it's one thing black women got on black men.
What's that?
And what it is you got some black men that don't know how to talk to women of opposite races. I don't know how to talk to no white. I don't know how to approach it.
Mm.
I like dog me. I like the thighs, you know, the legs. That's just me. I'm just saying. Some people like the breast. But I mean, it's cool. I eat the breast is good when but I can't eat that. I can't eat anything that's other than dog meat.
Okay.
So we talking about chick, but let's go deep because I'm not trying to go there because you know this. No, come on. But it's all facts, and y'all women know that.
Well,
You
no,
got
that's so much.
black men
I
that
got to
don't
move
wanna
on
deal
to some
with
other
them.
people. Though. We got a lot of people in the back. So
I'm sorry, my bad. My bad. Yo, soapbox really don't want to hold y'all ears hostage. I'm sorry, pardon me.
yeah. Any final thing you want to just say? You want people to know
Um,
before we move
um,
on? I appreciate
okay. One final thing, because I'm so I can't believe, man. This is dope, man. I'm on DeeDee Live. It's crazy, yo. Hey, listen. All I can say is this: if you can help it, if you become a stepfather, young man, don't have a child with her. The child is gonna pick up the same understanding that her child has if she goes against you. If she goes against you, it's kind of deep. Now, I ain't saying my wife went against me. Well, not wife, because I was just with her for 23 years. You know, I could say 25. You know what I mean? That's 100 something. That's 100 seasons. Don't waste 100 seasons on trying to be someone that can complete your legacy by dealing with someone else's boxes. It don't work that way, God. And that's it, man. I don't got nothing else to say. I love my family. I love everybody, but y'all know y'all wrong, and I'm gonna speak up for people like me. You know what I'm saying? I speak for us as brothers. I mean, like as dudes. It seems like everybody against us, man. We walk out the house, we beef with the world. Come in the house and we beefing with our girl. That's not cool. But thank you so much for answering my call.
Yeah, I appreciate you being here. Take care.
Man, you're the best. You're the best. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. They can't fuck with you. You know what I mean?
We're not supposed to cuss on this channel.
Oh,
now.
my bad. They can't. My bad.
All right.
Anisha was with a PH.
I appreciate you being here. Take care. All right.
All right, Eric. Yo, thank you. All right, peace.
Be safe. I'm sorry. He made me laugh. But anyway, I appreciate that, brother. Clyde Smith, thank you so much for becoming a member. I appreciate you, Clyde. Oh, Lord. Michael. What's going on, Michael?
How you doing?
I'm good.
Can you
How
hear
are
me?
you? Yes,
Good.
I can hear you fine. What's your thoughts, real quick? Because I want to get to everybody.
Okay. My thoughts is it goes back to what we originally talked about when that officer was on that we used to do like the group panel and everything like that. Remember that question I asked you, do women mature faster than men? I'm starting to see that girls mature faster than boys, but their maturity stops after a certain age. After a certain age, their maturity stops and the man surpasses them. Because men understand that we have to grow up in the world fast because ain't nobody gonna call us, ain't nobody gonna baby us, ain't nobody gonna spoil us. And even though I have a stepfather that's on my neck every single time I do something wrong or he puts me in perspective, I take responsibility and I listen to his constructive feedback. And that's some of the things that modern women don't like to do. They don't like to listen to constructive feedback. So modern Americans. So the problem with this community, the problem we're seeing now is that women are showing that they're not as mature as they think they are. They're just as intelligent as we are, but they're not as mature as they think they are. They're not as mature as they think they are. Because there's no way that a 60-something-year-old woman should have a BBL. That's ridiculous. That's pathetic. And then on top of that, let's go to the other subject you were talking about. What's the other subject you were talking about before you got to Kendra G? You were talking about the lady talking about men talking to other women of other nationalities. That's their decision. Yeah. I was watching the Philip Scott show one time, and this black girl, he did an interview on this black girl. He said, black people, we don't own each other. We do not own each other. And there's no such thing as a pure race of people. Well, I'm the one saying that there's no such thing as a pure race of people. There's no such thing as a pure race of people. Everybody's not attracted to the same thing. So if somebody want to date out their race, that's their business. That's the way I've always looked at it. That's the way a man looks at it, because to be honest with you, a man matures faster than a woman in certain areas, in very important areas. And the foolishness that Kendra G go, and I'm gonna ask you this question. I'm gonna let you talk. Does these subjects become tiresome to you sometimes?
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, sometimes because it's the same thing over and over and over. Yeah, definitely. I think most
So
people who whatever most people who cover this content, it can become tiresome, but every time you see the foolishness as a content creator, it's like I'm compelled to react to it because I keep seeing this same old thing over and over and over again. So it's like, damn, if I even if I want to walk away from it, it's like I gotta say something because to counter
right.
what that person is saying, because it just doesn't make sense a lot of times. Yeah. So
I
once you
mean,
once you get into it, it's like you gotta respond. Mhm.
right. The problem what we're seeing now is that we're seeing the lack of fatherlessness. A father puts reality into words. A mother calls a baby's, whether it be a boy or a girl's imagination. She'd say, "Oh, that's cute," but a father doesn't look at things as being cute. He looks at things as reality. Like when not to go back a couple of panels ago when I didn't really know what you were talking about back then. I ain't watched the whole panel, but I did comment on it when Killer Mike told that kid he can never be president of the United States. He was not putting the kid down. He was just being a man and being realistic with him. He understood how the world works. Men understand how the world works in general. They understand things from a logical perspective, and they understand things from a reality perspective. And that's the reason why single father homes operate better than single mother homes, because mothers gonna coddle and baby their sons. And that's the reason why. And I've already seen the video about the mother who has 5 sons but no father in the house, and the boys pretty much running the mother.
Yep.
That mother might as well send those boys to boot camp, because that's the only thing that's gonna save their lives. She might as well send them into a work program or boot camp or a mentor program that can help them become men. Because she is not going to be able to handle those boys, and every last one of them going to be dead before they either 25 or something like that. So we as a community got to get back to get married. We got to get back to having families. We got to get back to having communities. And the Bible even tells you in the last days they're going to call right wrong and wrong right. That's the reason why they call a man being a virgin wrong. And the guy said in the chat, they said he had a sneak. See whatever he called his when he said he didn't have children at 40 years old. You were laughing about it. They say he was sterile because he didn't have no children at 40 something years old. What are you talking about? He's being responsible. Robert De Niro just had a child in his 70s. So he has grown children already, but he just had a child in his 70s. So a man can reduce sperm to the day he died if he takes care of himself right. So if he want to preserve himself until he get himself a wife, then there's nothing wrong with that. But like the Bible said, they're going to call right wrong and wrong right. So we got to get back as a community, those of us who want to get back to having husbands, having mothers, having fathers. And I'm going to say this and I'm going to go. In other cultures, and you may look this up, Ms. DeeDee, but in other cultures, women are not allowed to decide. They're not allowed to decide their spouses. You know that, right?
Right. In other cultures, some other cultures, yeah.
Because they understand that naturally women react to things emotionally. In other cultures, the men and the family has to decide whether this man is good enough to marry his daughter or not. And that used to be the way in our community. You had to meet my father. I had to meet your father before I can date you. Because we have to go back to that, because women are rejecting men who are actually 6 figures. They're coming on dating shows like the balloon pop shows and rejecting, and men getting rejected because they have 40 something children. They have 5 children. The woman, you saw the video where the woman had 5 children on the balloon popping show, and her youngest child was like some months old, and she was on a dating show. What are you doing on the dating show? You already got a baby. You just had a baby. We got to get back to you gonna meet my father. We got to get back to putting fathers in the household, Ms. DeeDee. So that's my stake on the whole situation. We're suffering from a lack of fatherlessness in the household.
Thanks. Well, I appreciate your perspective, Michael, as usual. I'm gonna go ahead and let somebody else up, but take care. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you.
No problem.
Queen vibes. What's going on? I can't hear you. Oh, you unmute yourself.
Oh yeah, I forgot I was muted.
How you doing?
How you been?
Good. What's your thoughts on anything that you've seen so far or heard?
I've been seeing a lot of crazy stuff lately. So far, like the common topic I've been hearing about is like stepfathers versus stepmothers and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And even like, I'm just thinking like, that's not fair for them to think that men should be obligated to step up and expect him to take over for the real father.
Right. It's insanity. It really is. I just, but they'll get mad if they hear me say that. It's like the biological father has done nothing for the child, and she seems to not really care. He's not on child support, nothing. But the new man has to come in and take care of you, that kid, and the whole household. It's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand where they get that logic from. I don't. I'll never understand that. I just don't.
Yeah, because like in my older years, my real dad, he's tried to like, come back into my life, and even then he still ain't.
You say he's still not, he didn't
He
follow up.
still ain't really like, being there as a father. So
Yeah. Well, what else? Anything else you want to comment on or chime in on?
I don't know. I just feel like low key I'm just out of place with my own generation, because like,
yeah,
it seems like most of the women nowadays just gone completely cuckoo.
for real.
Yeah.
And that kind of lends to what I was saying earlier too about the older women setting the example for the younger women or giving those women something to aspire to. We're lacking in that area. I consider myself an older woman, but most women out here aren't acting as such. They're like trying to, like I said, trying to compete with the 20-year-olds. That's why that lady mentioned that the older women are getting BBLs. They're trying to compete with the younger women to try to get, fight for a man when they should already have had a man at 50, 60, right? You should already be married and had children, got grandchildren, but they still out here trying to get a man because they missed out in their earlier years. So now they're still trying to get what these younger women are looking for. So it's a competition now. Some women, like I said too, are competing with their own daughters. You got daughters in their 20s and 30s, you're 50, 60, you still trying to compete and dress like your daughter and get the man that she's looking for. So it's a big problem. I think that's just all out of whack. That's like me. I have a 20, my daughter almost 24, 20, almost 25. That's like me if I was single. I'm in my 40s competing with my 25-year-old. Like, that shouldn't be that way. It just shouldn't. But that's what we're running into, and it's just a major problem. You got all these women, and they're not enough men for all these women. So they're out here competing. And honestly, they're competing in the wrong way, if you ask me. It's still not working for them, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, and like there be some out here like I'm seeing committing literal crimes, and then this so-called sisterhood is still somehow taken up. I'm like, so y'all would even go as far as to even defend them for committing literal crimes? Like,
I saw, there was this video, and also too, society defends them. This woman and her daughter was stealing out of a store, and they hate no. This woman, I'm sorry, this other video where this lady, she committed a domestic assault on her ex, her children's father. They had to arrest her. They hated this, like they hated to arrest her. But if it had been the other way around with him doing something to her, they would have grabbed him up real quick. But they hate it. It's like the police hate. Well, I'm sorry. I even said, I'm sorry I have to do this. Why are you sorry? She committed a crime. It's domestic violence. If a man does it, it's almost as if you expect it and you just grab him up quick. You don't think twice about it. But because it's a woman, you thinking twice. Oh, well, they got her at a job. It's like she threw stuff while that man was holding her child. The neighbors even complained about her, called the police, and they had to arrest her because it was a domestic violence with the children involved, and she had to be arrested. She didn't want to go to jail, but she was mad because he had another woman at his house. He had moved on from her, and he had another woman there, and she just lost it. So that was the real problem. That's what Tia Mowry gonna go through too. When just FYI, when Corey get that woman, baby, she gonna pull her hair. Watch. I can't
right?
wait.
Did you see what they was saying about him, like the dude when he moved on or when he admitted to like what he was going through when she left him. Like they somehow twisted it to
Oh,
defend
what
her
you
and say
saying?
that.
Yeah, I don't. That these people are crazy. It's just they're losing their mind. Some of this stuff some of this stuff I don't even pay attention to because they just hear what they want to hear and make it up how they want to make it up, and that's it. That man is gonna when he moves on for real and find him another woman, she gonna lose all her. She gonna lose it because she's struggling. She's what 46. I'm gonna do that video too. She's just turned 46, and I don't know what she's looking for. Dated a guy, put his gold teeth on the table. She don't like that, girl. You had the best that you ever was gonna get, and she gonna find it out. But watch he move on with a nicer, younger looking woman. I can't wait. She gonna lose her marbles. I'm waiting for that. I'm just saying. I'm waiting for it. I will be posting on it quickly. But anything else you want to say so I can move before I move on to somebody else?
Nah, that was it.
Okay. Well, definitely pop up next time. Anytime
Yeah.
you are very welcome. They'll come up anytime.
Yeah, I just wanted to come on again since it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, definitely stay in touch. And be safe out in these streets, girl, because it's crazy.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'll see you next time. Take care.
Okay.
All right. Trey Ferg, what's your thought? I might have to let a couple of y'all up because this going
you know the family been waiting on you. You know it.
Yeah, let's see. It's classy. I want to hear what you got to say. But Trey Ferg, go ahead. What's your thoughts?
I mean, I believe when I came in, I think you were talking about women and their competition with the younger women. This is something that's I've been having to sort of communicate with women, young and old, about for years now. When you look back, a lot of women have daughters 15 years and sometimes less than than they are. So they're going to compete against a guy 40 years old. He can have the whole family if he wanted. He can have the mother, the auntie, the cousin, the daughter, everybody. He can have them all. And they see this when he pulls up. So they're going to naturally compete against him. I mean, against their children without saying it. Women don't say a lot of stuff, what they do. What they say and the way they act, it's like two different lifestyles, which is unfortunate because, here we are in the time where I guess everybody's supposed to be more knowledgeable, but they always, from what I see, fuck them kids. That's what they actions say, because the boys are a lot slower, dumb as hell. No knock on the children, but who's raising these children? And it's just unfortunate because when you see this, the children suffer. A lot of women, when they get close to 40, they get wild as hell. When they start getting gray hairs on that cooter cotter, everything changes. They trying to get as much in as they can. You even on the video with the young lady, you heard her say she got friends. They not in a relationship, but he can come through and smash whenever he feel like it. It ain't her. Whenever he feel like it. Now you're expecting a man when you've already said, I gave a man the best of me in probably my fittest years. He has no responsibility to me or the child. Now here you are, young brother, probably working hard every day, got your own everything. But you go come over here, now you're going to pay all of these bills. And you see how women, listen, the guy said that women are more mature only biologically. They mature physically a lot faster than men, but not mentally. A lot of these women are still 14, 15 years old. They still play the same games, which is unfortunate because the children are caught in the middle. You want a man that's working hard, taking care of business to come in and bail you out of your debt, bail you out of, and a lot of these, listen, I don't care what women say. I used to go into these homes. A lot of these women, they on Section 8 anyway. They on Section 8. They rent is $300-400, but they want you to fund a lifestyle.
Right.
It's not about taking care of the home. It's a lifestyle because you going, like I used to say all the time, when you go in a woman's house, stand at her front door, look around. Your shit's all over the place. That's how your life gonna be with her. You don't even have to sleep with her to understand. You put yourselves in those situations. Don't do that, young man. And it's just unfortunate that today, I wish men would understand this. They outnumber us 10-1. We have a prize. So if you focusing on yourself, and you can circle back around, but focus on yourself and forget women because there's women all over the world. You know what I'm saying? But just protect yourself. Do not have a child out of wedlock. You want to be poor as a black man? Have a child out of wedlock. They gonna come and take your money for the rest of your life, at least until you're in your 50s. By that time, you old as shit. You know what I'm saying? So take care of yourself, protect yourself. You know, it's just unfortunate where we are. And this is my last thing. The laws will never change for the betterment of black men. Why? Because they're going to always cater to the black woman to keep them separate from us. Because most men, when they turn 40, that age of reason kick in, we move a little different. Even guys that's been in the street, you can see how they moving a little different. They starting to reflect like, damn, I should have did shit better, but now I'm going to do things better. But women, shit, don't let them have a man by 35. Fuck the kids, fuck everybody. I'm going to get mine. And that's how they move for the rest of their life. And they continue to cheerlead for young women to be single because they'll never admit that they wrong. If a lot of these mothers just admit that they wrong and they fucked up to their children, a lot of people would be a lot better moving forward. But until then, shit, it's going to be bad out here, man. I feel for your I got a young son, 21. He like, man, ain't nothing out here. I'm like, what? He said everybody's moving in the same light. The older women and the younger women, they hanging out together. You know, they turning up together. And it's just sad because a mother supposed to set that example, despite what her life was when she was young. She has to set the example at some point. So brothers, hang in there. Don't be so hard on yourself, man. Save your money, travel around. And you got to go find you a diamond. Diamonds don't appear. You dig for the diamonds. Understand that. So thank you, Miss DeeDee. Make sure your woman take a bath. If your woman don't sit in the tub once a week, that's nasty. That's all I got.
Take care, Trey. I appreciate you. Classy perspective. What's your thoughts? And how you been?
I'm doing okay. Sorry about the sarcasm earlier. It's just when I hear dumb stuff, I start speaking in goofy terminology. So I apologize in advance.
Right.
My thing about this whole thing is basically it's just about money funneling back into the government. I'll explain my position. You have a lot of these women, especially like you see that young lady that was on the Kendra G show. A lot of these women are looking for pension plans. They don't really want the man. They just want someone to be around so they can parade around their girlfriends or their family members, probably just to make their aunts or somebody in their family jealous. She really don't like him, but he has the money, but she wants the pension. See, people, a lot of these dudes got to understand that, look, in some states in America, paternity fraud is actually legal. Yeah, and the thing about that is, and the reason why, you remember before, it was all about just getting the DNA test. See, with dealing with DNA, you can't really alternate it. You can't change it up unless you do something illegal in the medical field to make that happen, like switch somebody else's DNA with somebody else's DNA to confirm that you're not the father. That stuff, it probably happens like at a 0.1%, but I'm just throwing that out there. However, the fact of the matter is this, I always tell fellas, if you want to help these children out, just go ahead and be a mentor. You don't have to be a father to the woman's children. Just be a mentor. If that's what you want to do, if you have the time to do so, then go ahead and do that. Because I do believe not only that the males need help, but the actual females need help as well. And I want to push even further. A lot of these females that have kids nowadays, what I'm starting to see with my own eyes, especially when it comes to the young men, they're making them their son husbands. And they're also teaching these young men nowadays that it is okay to hook up with a single mother before you hook up with a woman without a child. And I just saw a report in Kentucky today that they've made it legal where women don't have to pay child support.
Well, most women don't pay child support anyway, right?
No. They don't. But at the same time, they have made it an official legal law in the state of Kentucky.
They don't. That's crazy.
And now I was watching something else in Kentucky where this woman has a group where they've actually built, like, like if you have a puppy or something, you take it to the dog pound, you can drop it off in a drop box. Now they have that for human babies now. So it's like, that's very sad that, this country does not hold women accountable at all, but it's all about extracting resources from men, and they know women spend a lot of money.
Yep.
So that's how they're going to get it from the men. That's like even with all this, quote unquote, drug money that they get when they seize it. You go into the district attorney's office, beautiful mahogany desk, 80 screen, big screen TVs, nice Cubanos from Cuba. All that stuff is funded from everything that they get from drug money, and also some of the money that they get from the father in child family court is being put in their pensions here in America. So I always tell men, I'm like, I don't understand why you want to be a stepfather when you have 80 billion life form that is circulating around your scrotum sac. You have the X and Y chromosome. You determine what that child looks like and how healthy that child will be. Determined is by you. Now, see what Ebony K. Williams have done that nobody else has done, just like getting these BBLs they're taking loans out to get BBLs. These women are now going to start taking out loans to do what Ebony K is doing. And plus Kendra G. I'm going to refrigerate my eggs and I'm going to pay $80,000 a pop just to get a man's sperm. I'm going to drive myself into debt. See, the government knows they're going to drive themselves into debt. And they're looking for men to pay off the taxes of these women's debt.
Yep.
And see, and I'm gonna go ahead and put a ending mark on it. At the end of the day, these ladies are looking for pension plans from you gentlemen. They don't make $100K because I know exactly what they make, judging by their state and what their salary and what's the cap off point on what they do. Most of these women have jobs that don't have careers. It's a bunch of crap. So when you hear a woman says a man is weak because she won't take on my 6 kids from my 7 baby daddies, you got to ask yourself this question: why do you want to pay $100K for a used Geo Metro? But I digress my point. Go ahead and pass the mic.
I appreciate that, Classy. I agree with what you're saying too. I mean, it's just what it is. Brother Thomas X, what's your thoughts on all of this?
Wow, it's quite a bit, man. It's quite a bit. Everybody's got some good things to say, some good wisdom to say, and the only thing I can really tell everybody is that really the real solution to this problem, especially for us as a people, and this is going to come as a little bit of a left field. We need a nation. We need our own nation. We need our own nation where we can practice our values, and our own nation where we can do what we can do. Because as long as we are in this American society, there's always going to be problems like this. It's so deep that even a certain amount of respect that we get from our women, we're never going to see a certain amount of respect from our women until we, brothers, us, men, until we come together and build our nation. Because we're the only men on this earth right now that don't have a nation. And in our past, in our history, we actually have a great example of what that nation looks like. And at the risk of sounding like I'm preaching or sounding like I'm trying to sell everybody something, you all should really study the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. because in the 70s, he had built a nation right in America of us. And the stuff that he had under that nation that we did as a people was unmatched by anyone anywhere else. And nobody now today really hardly talks about that man. But he had an $80 million, I'm gonna call it an empire. $80 million worth of economy built for us, through us. He did that in the 70s. And the men and the women, we were looking good. We had something to be proud of. We don't understand how much that affects our individual self-esteem. The women understand it. They don't understand it consciously, but they understand it because that's why they don't really respect us.
You have something playing in the background, sir? I'm sorry. I mean, y'all have anything playing in the background? I hear television.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's something else. But you can go ahead and go ahead to the next person. I just wanted to get that out to you all.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate you. Hustler, what's your thoughts? Well, I'm gonna go ahead and read the super chat. Common Man 80 says that's what the Boys and Girls Club is for. No man should take on the responsibility of other men's offspring because there becomes a time the man has to move on. Then what happens to the child? Thank you once again for the super chat, Common Man 80. I appreciate you. Hustler, how you doing? What's your thoughts?
I'm doing good, DeeDee. How y'all doing?
Good.
Oh, salute classy perspective. Then recognize you up there, my guy. Now, this whole thing of older women competing for younger men, older women competing with younger women. And I'm pretty sure y'all noticed this in the past, but as of lately, I've seen a lot of older women, 50s, 60s and up, walking around with mini skirts, boots, weave in their hair, lots of makeup. It's like, what the? Like just the other day on my way to work, I could have sworn I saw an older woman with a cane and she had some peak weave in her hair looking like Nicki Minaj or whatever the heck. And I assumed she was an older woman because she had a cane. I'm like, what?
She had pink hair, you say?
Yes, she had pink hair. I kid you not. She had pink hair with a cane, a walking stick or whatever the fuck. I don't know. So yeah, it just blows me. Now, I understand that as men, we value youth, we value beauty. But seriously, when you can look beautiful at damn near any age. I mean, come on, DeeDee's in her 40s, but she still look good. But she lets beauty flow naturally. She ain't out here trying to compete with her 20-plus-year-old daughters or 20-plus-year-old women. We don't like that stuff. You're trying too damn hard, in my opinion. Yes, beauty fades, but personality, attitude lasts a lifetime. There's no need for you to try to compete with younger people just so you can feel relevant. And I'm speculating that these are single women because if they were older, if they were in relationships, they would feel no need to try to go out here trying to attract the attention of other men. If they were in relationships, married kind of like how DeeDee is married, there is no need for her to try to go out there trying to live the single life and try to keep herself relevant. And sometimes men go through that too, where they try to feel relevant because they ain't got a girlfriend or got a wife or whatever. So they try to feel relevant. The only difference between us is that we accept where we stand and don't try to compete with the young generation.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna stay single past 40, whatever. I don't care. You young folks do y'all thing. I'm gonna do my thing. Whatever. If I meet someone, it is what it is. But the women, they want to stay relevant. It's crazy. Oh, by the way, I just turned 40 yesterday. So hey.
Happy belated birthday. Once again, I didn't know you was 40. I thought you was younger than that, but happy 40th. Yeah, you're right. I mean, they trying to, and I think that what you just said is the difference between women and men. I think men can accept a lot more and be more accountable, is what I've seen for what it is, and accept things for what they are. But women are delusional. I'm sorry, and women hate when I say that because they want me to be on this sister code thing where, oh girl, you shouldn't be saying that. We don't like you because you hold women accountable. You tell our secrets. Y'all already told y'all secrets. They've already exposed themselves. I'm just reiterating why it doesn't make any sense. You've already exposed yourselves. And I don't have to agree with it just because I'm a woman, because it doesn't make any sense. Right is right, wrong is wrong. I don't care who you are. So It's not that because women like to say, "Oh, all you do is defend men and agree with men." No, if a man is wrong, he's wrong. I make it very clear that there are deadbeat men and there are deadbeat women. See, the thing is, women don't want to accept the fact that a lot of them are deadbeats. Y'all just want to keep on saying that men are deadbeats, but you don't want to take accountability for your own actions. And that's where I come in at. No, I'm saying, look, if we can acknowledge that men have a problem, which there are a lot of men out here who have problems, but we also got to recognize that there are a lot of women who have issues too. And that's what they don't want. No accountability whatsoever. You only want to point it at the men, but you don't want to acknowledge your issues as if you don't have any. And we all know that that's not the truth. So that's how I see it. And they hate, that's why I say accountability. It is like kryptonite. You don't want to accept your own flaws, your own faults, your own issues. You just want to keep making it seem like all the men in the world is the problem. Well, all the black men in the world is the problem. When I know for a fact, women in my family, women everywhere have issues, and they never once taken any accountability. Not once. They're still saying these men ain't ish and these men need to get it together. Girl, well, I know you've been cheating on your husband and doing all kinds of stuff, but you don't want to take any accountability for that. Oh, somehow it's still his problem because you cheated with several men and had babies on the man, and he's still with you, and you not a problem. So that's, we got to acknowledge that as women, and I think more women need to, because if women say men need to hold other men accountable, when we as women need to hold women accountable, we need to call them out on their BS. We need to let them know, and that's why I do it, because I think it's important for us, especially as an older woman, to let the younger women know what not to do, but also hold the older women accountable for not being accountable. You know what I'm saying? For just making it seem like a man is a problem, is your problem, and he's the problem for every choice that you made. That doesn't make any sense. You can't blame everything. And it's another thing too that I used to hear growing up is a lot of Christian women, because church women, they blame it they blame it on God. They everything that good happens in their life is God. Everything that's bad in their life is not them, it's the devil. That get on my nerves too, because that's a problem too. Even the women in the church, everything you chose to go out and sleep with deacon whatever, but then when deacon stopped fooling with you, or his wife found out, now or the devil, somehow the devil made you do it. I don't understand that. The devil made you do that, so it's the devil's fault.
The devil made me do it.
It's a lot of unaccountability, and they hate to be called out on it. So we're pick-me's and all of this because we're telling the nature of women and what women shouldn't be doing. They don't like it. But as long as you're part of a sisterhood and you just accept it and you say, girl, you know what, you right. It's all good. I have 1 million subscribers. If I was with the sisterhood and telling them everything that they want to hear and going along with it, but I just can't do that because I know it's not right. I can't do that. You know, I can't. I've seen too much of the foolishness, you know. And so it is what it is. You gotta own up to your own stuff. That's it. It's not about men. Men. I'm not saying men that don't make mistakes, because they do. We all make mistakes, but somehow the men make mistakes and somehow the women don't. It's almost as if they want to treat it as women are perfect and they're just no flaws. Y'all watch Kendra G. They hard pressed to name 3 flaws about themselves. When one clearly we see you're overweight. You're not. You don't know how to deal with your intake. We know that's one right there, but they never mention that. No discipline. You have no discipline. But we don't hear them say that. Y'all don't hear them saying that. They I'm impatient, or something that is really not a flaw. No, you're combative. You're overweight. You don't have no type of discipline. You're masculine. All these things, like to cuss people out. They don't never say that though. So,
the biggest flaw that I hear is crazy to me. I'm too giving. The hell how is that a flaw if you're too giving? It makes no sense.
No, you're too giving.
That's not a flaw. Or I'm maybe impatient, or I'm too something that's really not a flaw, but because that
you're stuck in your ways.
They have to make it seem like they do too much.
It's almost. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead, Classy.
It's almost like they're giving themselves a backhanded compliment if you think about it.
Boom.
Right.
Exactly.
There you go.
Yeah, so
Right,
it's
exactly.
not a flaw. Exactly. That's not a flaw. You're complimenting yourself. Oh, I'm too nice, or that's not a flaw. That's you too nice, or yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. But they're delusional, child. You know, you want to cuss a man out and tell him where to put him in his place. You come on, you know. First off, you're too big. That should be number one. I'm overweight. That last girl, she was overweight, talking about you look good. No, you're juicy. You're overweight. Just say that.
Hey, some men like them juicy. I don't know.
There you go, man. No, we can't speak like we can't give them an out. That's giving them an out because man, we hold each other accountable. We'll tell a guy he's a simp. We'll tell a guy, you know, I don't know how y'all do it, but my friends, we held each other accountable. We didn't let each other jump off the ledge. You know, if it was time to work out, come on, man, let's work out. Man, don't do this, don't do that. You know what I'm saying? But this is a different time. I don't think, you know, for the most part, guys are really supporting each other in their capacity, looking at everything from a negative, when really everybody's life has to go through a process of improvement.
Yep.
Everybody get on here and say, man, today, you know, hindsight is 2020. Didn't none of us know that shit in 1920? Even our parents didn't know because technology changes, times changes, freedoms change. You know, now that we can fly all over the country, now can't nobody stop me from doing what I want to do. I can do what the hell I want to do. If your ass was back in Jim Crow, your ass would have been home before the sunlight. You'd have been fucking cooperative and submissive and learning how to cook, clean, do all that shit. But today, nobody's holding the women accountable because, like it's already been mentioned, women spend over $1 trillion on their personal body. Fuck them kids. My kid can't read like a motherfucker, but he got 4 pair of Jordans last month. Dumb as a doorknob. But I look good when I go out. It's all about self at some point. So brothers, again, stop being hard on yourself, man. Miss DeeDee, I put something in the back chat. Check that out. When you get a chance, and everybody that's on here, y'all look in the back chat, click on it. And it's actually a running clock of what's happening every day here in America. And look at some of those numbers. Look at the median income, I think it was 1980 compared to today, $9,000 difference. So ain't nobody making no fucking money. We all out here working hard, trying to get to a better space. Nobody was born with a silver spoon. It's just as you get older, when that age of reason kicks in, 35 and over, because if you look at it, none of our great leaders got to live to age 40. Because that's when most men wake up and realize they've been wasting time with the BS for 20 years. Now you're looking to move different and it'll change your life. So you just got to understand that life is a roller coaster. You got to hang on with 2 hands. And if you can do that, you'll be okay in the end. If not, then you're going to fall victim to it. So just be careful.
All right, y'all, I got to go. That's
True
it.
that.
All right, Dee, thank you for having me on your show. And I just want to tell the chat that I know I do sound like Q-Tip. So Bonita Applebum, you got to put me on.
Take care, y'all. Take care. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much for supporting and being here, y'all. Y'all be safe out in these streets, all right?
She's back.
Take care, Thomas. Thank
right.
y'all. I appreciate y'all. I got to get out of here, y'all. See you later, Trey. Hustler. Common Man 80, thank you for the super chat. Says fathers don't move on. Good fathers are there from the time the child is born, exactly, until the time the father passes away. Don't blank, period. That's how life works. Women need to understand that. I appreciate that. That super chat, Common Man 80. Thank you so much again for the support. All right, you guys, that is it. Thank y'all once again for being here. Shout out to everybody who supports the channel, whether you watch, like the video, share the videos. If you give a super chat or any type of donation to support the channel, I appreciate you for it. Thank you once again. Shout out to all the members who joined the members on this channel. I appreciate you guys for that. That definitely helps the channel out. Yeah, everybody watching, everybody supporting. I appreciate y'all. You have no idea how much I appreciate you guys. Thank y'all once again for supporting and rocking with me, y'all. I will be back on Friday, same time, 1:15 p.m. Central Time on this Friday. Make sure you have that notification bell turned on so that you can join the live stream. Also, from this point on, you guys, you must have your you must be cammed up. Only cammed up individuals will be a part of the live stream. So we got to be cammed up. And that is it. So thank y'all so much for supporting. Join the channel membership, you guys. Also follow me on Patreon. Also subscribe to my second channel. Just go over and hit the subscribe button on the second channel, you guys, and support that channel. I'm going to start doing live streams on that channel as well. So you definitely want to be subscribed to that channel. I'm trying to build that channel up as well. So definitely go over, subscribe to the second channel. The link is in my description box. So go ahead, subscribe to that channel because I'll do pop-up lives over there. So make sure you are subscribed so you can get that notification as well. So that is it. Thank y'all so much for being here. I appreciate you guys. Stay tuned for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. See y'all later.